What's up, everybody? Schulz here. Now, before we start the episode, I just wanted to address what's obviously running through everybody's mind, which is the tragic death of Kobe Bryant and his daughter Gigi and the other people in that helicopter. The episode you're about to hear was recorded last week, so it was recorded before the tragic events transpired. Obviously, we had no clue, so it's not addressed. I just want to give a little message here in the beginning of the episode, so you guys know that we're thinking about it and that we will address it on the Patreon episode coming up, and the next episode after that. We'll make sure that we grieve Kobe together, as the Asshole Army will always do. And yeah, it's just a constant reminder, man. Death is a constant reminder of the most valuable things in life. And one of the things that I took away from it is that, you know, with sports, especially with athletes, you can hate an athlete irrationally, right? You can hate an athlete just because he plays in a different city than the one that you're from or the one you live in. And oftentimes that hate interrupts your ability to appreciate their greatness, you know, and I refuse to let hate interrupt my ability to appreciate someone's greatness. And whether that's in, sports or podcasting or comedy, I don't care. I'm not going to let rivalry or competition stop me from appreciating how great people are in this very short and not promised time we have on this earth. So we love y'all. Thank y'all so much for riding with us. We're definitely going to talk about Kobe and share Kobe stories and have a great time reminiscing on that. But for now, enjoy this episode. We have two of my favorite people on, Amin Elhassan from ESPN and Van Lathan, formerly at TMZ and about to go on and do great things. And yeah, man, just enjoy the laughs. Enjoy these laughs, because right now we all need them. Peace.
What up, everybody? Before we start, I just want to let you know that this episode is brought to you by none other than Radix Remedies, Akaash's favorite CBD company. Real talk, I put it together. Akaash got weed dude. Hashtag weed dude. That's got to be the hashtag. But if y'all want to go get the best CBD out on the market, go out there and get that right now, all right? It is Radix Remedies. That is the CBD company of the Asshole Army. You go to Radix Remedies. That's RADIX remedies.com/flagrant. Use our promo code flagrant, and you know that you're getting all the discounts. You enter your email, you could get an ounce of CBD a week for free for a year. That's right. Go there, sign up to the newsletter. Make sure you get that discount that's only applied to the Asshole Army, okay? You go to that website right now and you get that quality CBD. You got some back pain, get that CBD. It's not just joints that they smoke, which happen to be my favorite because you get that nice, casual, cool, comfortable environment, but you get it all, okay? And then make sure you share it with your friends and tell them it's CBD. And then when they get high, laugh in their face like Kaz did. Now let's start the show.
Bailed my barber out of jail.
You bailed him out of jail?
Bailed him out of jail.
That's a good barber, man.
I get
he's like, I can't risk it out there.
I actually had to make the decision on the spot. I get a weird DM.
Right.
DM.
Yo, my man hit you on the DM.
No, he didn't hit me on the DM.
Oh.
Yeah.
His girl hit me on the DM.
Yeah.
Okay.
I get a weird DM like, yo, Trey Cuts is in jail. I'm like, for real? It's like, yo, we trying to figure out to come up with his bail.
What's his name?
Trey Cuts. Shout out to Trey Cuts. Now, my first thing was to be like, yo, I am not about to spend no money to get this nigga out of jail. No fucking way.
Then you looked in the mirror.
I looked in the mirror.
And I bet you this girl waited, too.
Then I looked in the mirror and I was like, fuck.
No, we need a free Trey.
All right, man, what's the Cash App? And so I put it on the fucking Cash App, and he told me the whole story. This is a true story about what had happened and all of this shit like that. But his life is so spicy that while he's cutting me, he's got new, really awful shit to tell me every week, and it's just part of the thing.
He's like your TMZ.
A little bit. Same thing. And by the way, he comes to my house to do the haircut because he can't stay in a barber. He is the best barber in LA.
Wait, so he's a house call barber, or you specifically
he
get
wasn't
the
a house call barber. I followed him to each shop that he's been sort of.
Yeah.
He was at seriously. He used to be on. God. He was when I met him years ago. Like I was Fat Man.
Right.
Like I met him years ago. He was on Pico,
right.
Fairfax.
Yeah, right there.
La Brea,
a bunch of...
then La Brea, back to Fairfax, and then, yo, bro, I gotta come cut you at the crib. Ow. We together though.
Wow. Wasn't that by the Roscoe's?
Which one?
Right
across the street.
Yeah. You getting your haircut. You working by Roscoe's. You liable to get in some trouble.
I'm blown away.
That's a real story. By the way,
does he owe you free cuts for bailing?
Yo. Here. This is a perfect example.
He worked off the bailouts.
This is a perfect example.
He worked them off.
First of all, I love that.
Yeah.
I had a cleaning lady that worked off sending her kid to camp. I gave her $1,000 to send her kid to camp, and I think she assumed since I was on TV, it was just going to send her kid to camp.
Yeah, I feel like you ain't shit for that.
Right.
No, I feel like that's what you do when you bail somebody out. When you send a kid to camp, you're not like, all right, bitch.
There's a bill.
Next time,
how old's your kid? Your kid was 20.
He's got the payments.
Right. The next time you come to clean, like, nah, bitch, that was free.
Yeah.
Oh, not free. I already paid for it.
I paid for it. Yeah. Right. We don't all need to go to camp.
Tip as
say what? Wait, hold on.
So let's
You're
say
blowing my mind if you tip your cleaning lady.
I tip my cleaning lady.
Why? That's the job, to clean it good.
Nah, everybody tips a cleaning lady, don't
Nobody
I don't have a
tips
cleaning lady.
a cleaning
But if
lady.
I had one, I don't think that.
You know what's crazy? Cleaning lady's not that expensive in New York.
No. What's crazy?
Everything else dumb
it's so
expensive.
different on the West Coast.
Akaash
Yeah,
is by
West Coast is a
far
status symbol.
my cheapest friend, and you tip the least, but you tip your cleaning lady.
I tip the cleaning lady.
But why?
Wait,
the job is
you're
to
a bad
clean
tipper
it.
in general, but this is the one.
bitch was up in my toilets. I don't give a fuck about a waiter, yo. Bring me food. I'm gonna pay you after I eat because you didn't spit in my shit. Suck my dick. Cleaning lady up in my toilets, up in the tub. You take a little extra.
The difference is that the cleaning lady makes an actual living wage, whereas the waiter doesn't. So the cleaning lady could actually live without the
They don't
tips.
live a living. How do you know she makes a living wage?
The way I pay, you go to camp. you do a
No,
whole
you the
camp
fuck
if
can't.
you're on my wage.
No, you the fuck can't.
Well, somebody went to camp.
You need extra payment to go to camp.
Somebody went. She came asking for a rack. What am I supposed to do? Say, here it is?
First of all, what kind of camp costs $1,000?
First of all, he said the kid's 20 years old.
The kid's 20.
Oh, he took that.
camp?
Oh, the camp was in Peru. He took that money to flip it.
He's flipping it.
Like it's $1,000 for a camp.
Cleaning lady came in next week with a fucking fur coat on. Like, hey, what happened to my $1,000?
I'm trying to think of what Spanish word sounds like camp that she probably asked for.
Well, you just didn't.
I just assumed it was camp. But yeah, I can't imagine that you of all people are...
How much do you tip her?
Like $10.
How much do you pay for it?
So if she cleans the whole spot, her and her like one other lady,
Assistant.
it's 90. So I just give them 100.
That's not. I mean, come on. That's it.
All right,
That's
I
his
pay
good-
100. I just
good
don't
American.
understand why you think it's deserved.
Mm-hmm.
The job is to clean it good. That's what they're getting paid to do.
But you could make the same argument about a barber.
Nah.
I'll
The
be
job
honest
is to
with
cut
you.
your hair good.
No, you
Yeah,
can.
but you can make that
You're
argument
right.
about a barber.
You're right. You're 100%
man.
right. And I feel like you tip the barber so that not you get a good haircut, so you get preferential time treatment.
There you go. That's
You
why.
tip the barber because I need to be in and out.
I tip my barber because, hey, man, last minute, I got to fly out.
Let's
You
see
fi-
your haircut to see how much you should
can't,
tip
man.
your barber.
You know why? Because
You got a hat
I love
on.
how you came in here
It
looking
shows
like
me
you
you not
straight
have a
off
lot
from
of confidence in your
Moscow.
haircut.
And you talk about your haircut. Let's see it.
yo, first of all,
So you got a hat like you got Larry David hair.
No, I've been growing my hair out. But like,
Let's see it.
I haven't
Let's
put
see
the
it.
product and all that stuff in it. So
It's
now
not that bad.
I know,
Tripping
man.
on.
But it's
Nah,
just,
you look all right.
You
look
I've
like-
never been more disappointed in you.
like you thought it was
From
gonna
the way
be,
you just blew that whole thing up when you look kind of suave.
No,
it's-
don't
but
go there.
I don't
Don't go
have-
there.
You look a little. It's like a
I gotta
little
put the
genuine
product
thing
in
going
it. Like
on.
I haven't put the product in it today because
What is the product? More hair?
Genuine. More like genuinely thinning hair.
You look like Scottie Pippen with diabetes, bro. Yo,
I love how diabetes just made you lose your hair.
come on.
some people lose fingers.
Somebody lose fingers. Some people lose a fucking leg.
I lose
You
hair.
actually got the good diabetes.
Yo, you got the hair one?
Most people losing the
Where is
piss.
it? I don't know,
But I
man.
lost mine. I just lose hair. That's
Son,
like win.
You lose a finger, but you got a strong hairline. I kind of feel like you won that.
Of course you won. You're not
you
on
gotta choose
finasteride?
What's up?
You're not on finasteride? You're not on Propecia? Like
Nah,
me?
No, man. You know what? Like, first of all, I use only natural products. Like.
Man, you getting too Sudanese now, man.
I
This
am
your hair
getting-
we talking about,
I'm
bro.
dead-
Don't
I'm
cut
dead
that African
serious.
shit out, rubbing shea butter in your fucking scalp.
I mean,
whatever
it's
you're
not shea butter, but yeah, it's kind of shit.
What
like
is
that.
it?
I don't know. My mom makes it. She makes this like unction or whatever.
Scamming
like,
the shit out of
it's
you.
got stuff.
Scamming
doing.
the shit out of
You gotta
you.
say out.
Son.
Say that shit with your chest out. He looked at you. He said,
Look at sit back there with a fucking $1,000 hairline, looking down at you. Alex,
That's not fair, right
His
there.
hairline is so fucking strong and looking at you like judging you, bro.
You know what, but
you
like-
almost got the same haircut. He's what you could be.
But here's the thing. Two things. One
Tell
is
us two things. 'Cause
fucking
I'm looking
hate-
at this yarmulke on your head. You gotta put it back on.
when I got the product
He
on
gonna
it,
sweat.
it looked better. It looked better when I got
I'm
the
not gonna
product.
front. On TV, it looks hard.
I'm telling
It was
you.
good.
It looks
You look
hard.
good on TV.
You didn't know that we had HD here? You didn't know we were on 4K? Bro,
I
this
did.
4K.
You guys shamed me into taking my hat
you
off.
know how in
But
the
people
fall,
like him, by the way. Fuck you, Al.
I didn't say
Nah,
nothing.
man.
That was
Nah, man. You know what's
I
funny?
noticed. All I did was notice.
You noticed,
I see
yeah.
people like you every day, and y'all walk around with your head held high and stuff. I hate y'all from afar, man.
When I have my product in, I put a hat.
You, Jason Tatum,
But it's fly
Jason
though.
Tatum.
Jalen Rose,
Tatum got that, huh?
D.
Rod Strickland. I hate all of y'all, man.
Oh, shouts to Rod Strickland. How often do you see Rod
I
Strickland?
see him all the time, man.
Why? Is he
That's
doing...
so random.
Rod
Yo,
Strickland.
first of all, let me
the time.
introduce our illustrious guest. I hope we've already been recording. Have we?
Oh, no.
Okay, good.
Hit the button.
We have in the building two of really my favorite people in entertainment. Two people that I have both loving, supportive conversations with and downright dirty debates. Like literally about every facet of life. We have Van Lathan and Amin Elhassan. Obviously, you know Van from TMZ. He's no longer at TMZ. And I don't know if you've noticed a difference of TMZ, but they just tweeted out the N-word. Did you see that?
Did see that. People.
People say you did that. You hacked the Twitter and did
Shut
it.
up. No,
That's what they said.
No, I did not
They,
do that.
they said that.
But people then mentioned me along with the tweet like
could you let
TMZ,
this
Harvey
happen?
Levin, Van Lathan, what's going on? And I'm like, don't put my name in this shit.
That's the Jamel thing.
Yeah.
That's Jamel Hill's thing. Anytime something bad happens at ESPN, people tag her. She's like, I don't work there anymore. Why
done.
y'all
It used to
talking
be
about
an
this?
occupational hazard. Like you accepted it. Like,
Yeah.
I gotta do a little work for it. But now, fuck it, I'm not there anymore.
Well, we also have Amin here from ESPN, all things ESPN. You see him frequently on The Jump, the Dan Le Batard show.
They are polar opposite Twitter follows. I'll tell you that shit right now.
Why? Why do you say that?
Amin ready to eviscerate everybody.
Nah,
Fuck
not
you.
anymore, man.
Smart ass comment here.
Not
Van
anymore.
quote tweeting with some shit about fucking inequality and social
Here's what you gotta
That should be
understand.
killing me, yo. That should be killing me.
Son, Akaash was having his moment. He had this nice little immigrant rant, and then I saw Van chime in. I was like, oh, Akaash don't even know he's in the motherfucker.
But wait, it
He's
wasn't
in the
about.
spin
Wait. But here's the
cycle
deal,
right
though. But here's the
now.
deal. It wasn't about the immigrant rant. The immigrant rant is something that I can't even relate to. I don't even like
Right.
that. The immigrant rant is actually what the fuck I love. That's Akaash talking
Yeah.
to people that
Yeah.
Look like me.
look like him
Yeah.
and have his similar experience. I can have no opinion on that. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just
You had one on Twitter.
no. It wasn't on that. It wasn't on that because that got posted and I had no. I was like, look at this. It was like you came back and I think the tweet was. What was the tweet?
He sound like Elmer Fudd.
Nah, we here. The tweet. I can't remember what it wasn't the immigrant tweet.
Who's the chicken?
No, the tweet was. No, the tweet was.
I thought I saw.
It was.
I'm in.
What was it? It was something about like
I
white
think it was
people.
when you said the N word for TMZ. I think you were so pissed off.
Nah, it was. He said white people. Like people are ready to become white people or something like that. I really didn't.
Yeah,
even,
I think I don't know if I even said it right. I was just saying.
Yeah, and I
slick
didn't
shit.
even
And I don't even think I
understand. And
thought it
all
through.
I did was put question marks. And then you know what happened?
He quote tweeted question mark.
You like
my
a
man,
you
you
like
can't
a
hit
quote
me.
tweet. You like a little quote
So my
tweet.
I have your
man,
number.
you quote tweeted to us. So I was like, all right. I guess it's a thing, but I just talk to Van directly. So I say something back to Van. Van quote tweets my shit. I'm like, son, we talking, you and
See,
me.
Van, you gotta observe the etiquette, man.
Wait. Ain't it funny how people who shit on white people are the most want to emulate them? And I quote tweeted and put the fucking question marks. I want to know what you mean by that.
Look at that response.
To Van Lathan. Ain't no quote.
Right. I never do that though. I always quote tweet.
Read Akaash's. So Akaash's response was, "Why the fuck would I have the same mentality as white colonizers if they were the personification of evil?" Which I think is harsh. Why would I look at them as a standard for anything?
Somebody said something about like white people, white colonizers never treated you the way you're treating them or some shit like that.
Yo.
And I was like, my point was, why would you want to be like white colonizers?
That original deal I didn't understand. And so when we went back and forth. But what happened was, as we started to talk, it just became a regular conversation.
But the point is, Van, there is an etiquette to Twitter conversation.
Which is what?
When you quote tweet, there is a subliminal message you're sending out. I'm going to throw this ignorance out there for everybody to come fucking feast on your ass. As opposed to a one-on-one conversation, you would just reply, because if the people aren't following the both of y'all, they won't really see that in their timelines.
Okay,
that's why.
so
See, now you wish you didn't make fun of his hairline.
Nah, to me,
Now you. Secondary point is, when you start talking about big words, inequality, I was like, I don't know what's going on anymore. You won.
there's no
That's
winner.
a cheat code you have in arguments.
No,
It's just
there's
like
no- there's no
systematic
winner.
something. I'm like, I can't do it.
There's-
My head
there-
hurts.
There's no winner. Like what I was trying
I'm
to
mad
seek.
overwhelmed by the
I was
syllable.
trying to seek an understanding of what you meant, and I got it. So to me, that is
To be fair, you guys did come together towards it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. We're just
Yeah,
busting your balls.
Yeah.
So
Nobody
no,
was
I get it. So
actually
I was
mad.
just trying to. I was trying to understand what the more interesting thing about the conversation to
You
me
know
was
you going
this.
through it when you see a bunch of replies from fat bitches. That's how you know
man,
Van
that's-
quote tweeted you, bro. So them fat bitches is coming after you.
What?
Because them question marks, bro. They're like 5 question marks.
It's not.
It
And it's
was a
not
lot. I
just,
just
it's
didn't
not
get
just
it.
Cheddar
that.
baked
It's who
biscuit
did
to
it.
these fat bitches.
I just didn't get it.
It's who did it.
Red Lobster.
I just didn't get it. I wanted to understand, and then I did.
Van, you now have a following. That's the problem. You are now you don't belong to yourself anymore. You belong.
Son,
as
you
a
the only
symbol.
man to stand up to Kanye.
You're the symbol.
Man,
You're the but you don't. I know what
Tell
you're
a story
real
about.
shit.
Tell
We're
a story
friends.
about when you snuffed Kanye afterwards and they cut it.
Oh, when I punched him in his shit?
Yeah, when you
That
bust
never
his
fucking
whole
happened.
shit.
What you trying to do?
my bad.
Nah, we
I
talked-
thought we were making things up.
Nah, we talked that night,
That's what
though.
we were doing.
Yo, for the record, y'all, this is Patreon, so this is only for our patrons. So get wild.
Oh, what up?
Just say
Because
you
y'all
punched
can't come on a
Kanye.
fucking Monday. Because y'all got to come midweek.
Who
Nigga
records
gotta
on
come out
a
here when he
Monday?
got business. Who was that? Yeah, man.
Guys who were
man.
on the fucking road selling out theaters every weekend.
Thanks, Akash. I didn't want to say it myself.
Got you, yo. I got you, yo.
What if y'all flip flop? Well, Wednesday is the public.
Well, we
one.
release on Tuesday.
Flagrant Tuesday.
And then Thursday is obviously Brilliant Idiots.
Oh, okay.
Word up.
Nonetheless, we always put out a portion of the podcast for
Andrew, your
everybody.
usage rate is so fucking high.
We got to go in, son. We got to go in.
You got
Well,
to.
let me say
We
this.
paid in life for all this.
Let me
shit,
say this
man.
before. Yeah, we pay for a lot. I'm just. We pay for a whole lot. Never gonna run past that. If you want to say that, we can say it again. So.
That's a lot of shit.
I'm so excited that you both are here because we were trying to get you on Idiots today, but you were too busy for us.
I had a meeting earlier, yeah.
But I hit Charlotte yesterday because you touched down in New York and you did the well, back in the single days. What we used to do is, man, I'm in. You send out the
to
tweet,
signal to all
the
the
bat
hoes.
signal.
Yeah,
He did the bat signal tweet where he was like, "New York is cold." Nah, you got a great girl.
Oh,
You got-
That's how you're supposed to do
Son,
it.
that's how we used to do it before.
My
Remember before
dumb ass is like-
Instagram?
Son, you know what a fucking nerd I am? When I would travel, I would ask people where to eat, and I would mean it. I'd be like, what's a good restaurant in Denver, Colorado?
That's
You just act fake curious about the city. Like you be in St.
Yeah.
Louis. You be like, yo, these arches are crazy.
Oh,
Nah,
my
the way
God.
I do it is like, oh, what's there to do in enter the city?
Boom.
That's
Somebody
how-
hit you up
No,
like
that's
me.
too much. You
Yeah.
gotta you gotta be more subtle. Like, ooh, it's
not too
cold.
much.
It's
Like,
cold.
it's
Just making
too
an observation. Like, you can't be like him asking, like, hey, where's a good place to eat?
Son, I just
also
want a
with-
good place to eat.
Yeah, but he's not trying to.
Now
cheat.
that I know the Barack cheat code, I just do that. Wherever Barack ate, I'm eat there.
Yo, Alex thinks he's so slick, bro. Alex thinks he's so fucking slick, dog. So Alex is the showrunner for Dropping In, the travel show we do. So that means he organizes the whole thing, where we go, what we film, everything, right? And we've been eating at some bomb-ass restaurants, and I'm like, yo, Al low-key is a foodie, bro. Like, what the fuck is going on? Like, how does he know all this shit? And I realized the last 3 restaurants we went to, there's been a picture of Barack Obama eating in every restaurant. So all he's been doing is where does Barack Obama eat
Yeah,
around the
that's
world?
where we going.
Exactly.
Hey, man.
There we go. So,
Control the spaces you can, my G.
there we go. There we go. There we go.
Control the spaces you can. I'm fucking with that.
I get a little leeway. Hey, I'll take that.
You know what I'm saying?
Anyway, I'm so excited you both came in. Amin
So since we
actually.
get wild, I have a question.
Yeah.
Just observation.
Go.
When did you Joe Button?
When did I Joe Budden?
Akaash and Cass. When
Oh,
did it become
son.
Andrew Schultz's Flagrant
Oh,
2?
Son,
One second. When did you roll
Son.
him all then?
it's happened this week.
Shout out
when-
to the Joe Budden podcast. But like, when did you,
No, this week is officially happening because I'm gonna make Kaz start wearing nail polish. So Kaz gonna have to start wearing nail
my
polish as for the thing. But to be honest, we spoke about it on the podcast. You guys don't listen to Flagrant 2, obviously. But we went on. I went on Rogan, and we got this real nice bump for Brilliant Idiots, right? And we didn't really experience the bump for Flagrant.
Right.
And I typed my name into iTunes, and I was like, surely Flagrant 2 will pop up if I type
But it
my name.
didn't.
Fucking Chris Moreau, idiot, put everything under Loudspeakers Network.
Right.
You know, if you type Charlemagne into iTunes, Brilliant Idiots doesn't even come up.
Interesting.
So what we did is put my name in the actual title of the podcast,
Right.
because we figured my name was the most searchable, especially at that moment. And
That's the most
For the
creative.
record, he
line.
ran it by us.
You bought
no,
that?
No,
I-
for the
no,
record,
real
he ran it
talk.
by us. And I,
You bought that?
matter
You
of
bought
fact,
that
it was,
information?
we talked about what to do, and then I searched his name, and I was like, when you search your name, nothing comes up. So we
I
talked-
sat them
we
down
talked
first.
about
I was
a
like,
way.
here's an idea.
Yeah.
You guys call this. It's really up to you.
And
we
he gave
did
us
it.
time to go home and think, and I was like, yeah, it makes sense. And then I thought about it for a night, and I was like, yeah, let's do it.
To be fair, we've doubled listenership.
Let me
since.
ask you a question.
Which is really what matters.
Hold on. That's great, but let me
Yes.
ask you a question.
Yes.
What if you had taken the night, come back and said,
I want
now
the-
fuck that. I don't want your name on this shit.
That's fine.
Then you guys would have been
That's
just
fine.
anonymous.
Yeah, I'll sell the studio too. So there's nobody asking questions about how much these cameras cost, my friend. You know what I'm saying? No. In all seriousness, if we want to go back, it's totally fine as well. It's just right now we're in a space where we're on YouTube, and my name is searchable on YouTube, man.
Right.
It's like we have this
And
video.
the video views have gone up.
We're doing
triple.
4 million views a week in fucking stand up, and it's like, why wouldn't we want to
Yeah.
get
Business
some
gotta
of that?
win.
Yeah.
Business gotta win.
I'm saying
make
once
more
your
money.
name is bigger than
You make
Rachel
more money, yeah,
Nichols,
business is gonna win.
That's never going to happen.
she's gonna have to jump.
That's never going to happen.
You don't think?
That'll never
Not with that
happen.
mentality, bro. Once
Probably
you get
not.
that hair product, bro. Once that product's in, dog.
By the way, this is my last hurrah for the hair.
Really?
What you mean?
This
you
is
gonna
it,
go? You
man.
gonna fucking take it all
The
off?
next cut I get is gonna, or the next like cut down is gonna be all the way, and then I'm coming home.
I'll be honest with you then. If that's the case, take the fucking hat off.
Yo,
Your hair needs all
Let
of
that
its
shit
glory.
breathe, yo. Let it have its last-
That might be why this shit is
know
fucked
what?
up.
Like Muhammad Ali carrying the Olympic torch.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Give it one last
Oh,
run.
it's very rare that I get to bang on somebody's hairline because my shit is running back too.
wait a minute. I think you have a good hairline.
Not really, bro. Not.
Hold on,
not.
come back.
Hey, Alex, shut the fuck up. Hey, bro, on God,
Son.
I'm not dealing with your hairline.
but
but
you
like on God, you get no say,
Yo,
bro.
come on,
You
bro.
say it online, though.
Bro, I say it online all the time.
So I'm agreeing with you.
But it's like Andrew going into the fucking NAACP meeting and giving his opinion. We don't need your shit. Like you
can
got too much
support
privilege.
from afar.
Nah,
Didn't
they
we
got
start
that-
the NAACP?
Nah, you can't. Nah, I'm
White
saying-
people started it.
But I'm saying is now
We
you're
be
out of
starting
it.
all the cool black shit.
We
We,
got- like
start
what?
the NAACP. We started the N word. We started
This motherfucker.
the NCAA.
This guy.
NCAA. All the NC double shit. We on that.
We're trying to get you out of it. That's why you're like, we're trying to get you out of it. That's why, no, bro, you can't only.
Al
like,
does have a good hairline. Al got
It's
like a
great
throwback to the
hairline, man.
80s
I never
hairline.
even
That's a
fucking
great hairline, bro.
realized it.
It's good.
I
Went
can
back.
see your hairline through Amin's. He's trying to hold back. He's trying to hold back.
This is exactly what happened. This is exactly what happened. Dad turned and looked, and like he didn't even like process the words. He just looked at my hair, and then I could see him put two to two together. Like, oh shit, he's right. I can see through it. It's like almost like a mirage or something. Like one of them reflector joints that look different when you look at it in the light.
God
got that
damn.
picket fence.
Oh,
picket
fuck,
fence.
dog.
Oh man.
I'm crying. Anyway, I'm just so happy you guys came, man. I'm so happy we made this happen. You guys are the first official guests in our new
That's how it
studio.
should be. As it
For real.
should be.
These are our first official guests.
I'll tell you why I'm happy to be here. And, just to be real, I'm happy to be here because I remember, I'm sure you remember, and Alex, you remember, I remember a different Andrew. I'm going to tell the whole fucking Flagrant 2 this situation.
Oh, boy. Okay.
I remember an Andrew that was a little angry, a little jaded, a little frustrated with a bunch of shit that was going on. And I remember a bunch of people in terms of career, and I guess you were trying your hand at Hollywood and you were doing it that way or whatever. But I remember every time I talked to you, I remember hearing you say just something that was just negative. And I remember me and Charlamagne had this conversation. I went and I saw Andrew on the stage. And I had never seen him before.
Right.
Like, 'cause
I was at that show.
Huh?
I was at that show. That's where I met you.
Yeah,
LA show,
I saw Andrew. By the way, even remember after the show, I was like, "Yo, your whole crew is fucking hilarious." You know what I'm saying?
you,
What was it? You and your black friends, y'all were going to the thing, and it was like
friends.
working at 7-Eleven. What you eat? Rob? Laughed the whole thing. I was like, that motherfucker's funny. And then I was about to say little guy, but right. I'm like,
I know who I'm standing next to.
right. But like, it's
The reason I got to be up front in the podcast. She was like school pictures all over again.
But no, I went to see Andrew live.
Right.
And I saw Andrew killed. After that, I called you.
You did?
And I remember having that conversation. I was like, yo, I'm not accepting this woe is me shit off you anymore.
Wow.
Like, I'm like, you, I hit Charlamagne, I was like, yo, Andrew's not a little funny.
Yeah,
He's like one of the funniest
He's
guys on the
hysterical,
stage
yeah.
I had seen forever. And after that, I saw somebody kick the industry in their ass and really building themselves, believe in his talent, believe in himself, and now you're doing your fucking thing, man.
So
and everybody winning. So I appreciate the fact that you actually did something that a lot of people can't do, which is take self-inventory and then put your talent on the line and work your shit, dog. I'm proud
Can
of
I
you, man.
can I say one
but
thing? Can I say
think
one
it's
thing in
pretty-
response?
Yeah.
Not only did you change Kanye's life,
Shut the fuck up.
I'm gonna say, like, it sounds like you owe him.
You changed my life.
Thank you.
Oh man!
Everybody was telling him this, though. Weren't we all telling you? We were all like,
I
Can
wasn't
you
telling
do
that
me a
shit.
personal favor?
shut the fuck up.
Can you give that same speech to Amin's hairline? No, I appreciate you as a brother, and thank you so much for doing that, man. And I know that came from a completely altruistic place. Like, you didn't have to do that. You didn't have to come to the show, and that meant a lot to me, man. And I hope that I did the things that we spoke about.
No, you
that
did.
night.
You said everything you was gonna do, and you went out and you got it.
But I
You
mean
said-
that. Thank you very much
word
for
up,
that.
Word up.
And I
word up.
appreciate
Kind of
that.
sounds
greatly.
like a confession of crime without actually saying it. Like, I did the things that you told me to do.
Yo, what did David Stern say, man, when he walked into that All-Star?
I know where the bodies are buried because I'm the one that put them there.
Fuck.
That is a gangster ass
say
quote, man.
Oh, you haven't heard this
They
story?
were going into the
Yo,
lockout.
Hold on. Tell the story. Set this whole story
Okay.
up. This is a legend. This will give you all the respect for David Stern. For anybody listening right now, David Stern, obviously the commissioner of the NBA, former commissioner of the NBA, who had just passed away.
Former
on
human
January
being.
1st. Yes. Formerly alive.
Yeah, formerly alive. Now dust.
So, not yet.
Hey, yo, don't fuck me up on this podcast.
I got a wild motherfucker.
You, I'm the one who got a job. Like, don't fuck me up, assholes. Who's gonna fire you guys? I'm the one who's on the line.
Oh man. Oh my god.
What did I say that's inaccurate?
Hey, man. I'm so
What did I say?
You gonna call yourself into your own office? Man,
We're trying to get the next. That was funny. as
Is
shit.
David Stern gonna be on the 2020 census? Somebody tell me.
Right, Jesus Christ. What's the story?
no, come on. Can you claim him on taxes?
Yo,
Yeah, that's a good ass
It was
question.
alive January 1.
listen.
Let me tell you something.
Oh shit!
Passed away on January 1.
I know what you.
Fucking God.
What you gonna say, Akaash?
Let me tell you something. Whatever Jewish motherfucker doing his taxes, claim that boy. You don't think David Stern held on until January 1st for that explicit purpose?
Hey, pull the plug at 12:01.
At 12:01, he just tipped his yarmulke this way and then leaned over all the way.
Oh, fuck. Okay. Tell the story. Tell the story.
Blow out that last Hanukkah candle.
Oh, my gosh.
David Stern, may rest in peace.
Okay.
Honorable man, great man. So they're going into an NBA lockout in the summertime, right?
Okay.
July 1, the lockout starts.
Right.
And the two sides have been far apart during the season because you try to get stuff done during the year, but a lot of times it doesn't work out. That's why we get to a lockout.
This is the last lockout or 2000?
This is the last one that happened in 2011.
Okay.
So he goes to the All-Star game, and at the All-Star game, typically the commissioner gives a State of the Union address.
Yeah.
So he gets up there, and someone asked a question, one of the reporters.
I heard this was in the locker room.
No.
He did this.
He did this in a press conference, man.
Oh, shit. That's even crazy.
No, but he was only speaking to the players, not the press.
Or maybe he did. Yeah, maybe
This
it was
is the locker room.
Maybe it was in the locker room.
Yeah.
But basically,
Because nobody else was there that was press. It was just the.
the case was someone said some shit, and he said,
They said they were going to walk out.
yeah.
The players.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The All-Star game. That's
Yes, it
right.
was the All-Star game.
They said they were going to walk out on the All-Star game, like to send a message. And so David Stern looks around and says,
He walks in the room. He hears this. He walks
Yeah.
in the room.
And he says, basically, don't test me. I know where all the bodies are buried. I know because I put them there. And that's like, was like, oh shit. Like,
I'm not fucking with y'all.
oh,
Apparently, he walked in the room and he goes, "So I heard you guys are thinking of walking out." And then he says the body's buried line. And you know what he's referencing? He's referencing the Donahue thing.
everything, man.
But there's other shit. Like,
Everything.
he is.
Yeah, but he
Hopefully
couldn't
you
blow
could
that
share
up
some
because
more.
that would have taken
fucked him.
That would have
It's not
destroyed
I don't think he was referring to
Donahue.
Donahue. He wasn't referring to
He
Donahue.
couldn't blow that up.
not blow it up, but like, I think what he's trying to say is, and I think a lot of people don't realize this, is like, you don't get to where the NBA is in that short a period of time organically. It takes a benevolent dictator who's willing to maybe.
He's not benevolent.
I mean, he's benevolent to the league.
Who?
David Stern.
No, man. That dude ran that shit like a tyrant, man.
like
an effective tyrant. Like
I guess
an
what I mean-
efficient
But they
tyrant.
came way the fuck up.
What I mean is,
Of course,
in
but
terms of
as
come up.
effective and
He's Steve
efficient.
Jobs.
Benevolent to me is like Adam Silver is benevolent.
Let me rephrase benevolent. His benevolence is to the NBA itself, not necessarily the players. In other words, by bringing the league into the mainstream.
Yeah, but even the players benefit.
You know what's crazy? I thought
So
he
then
was
we agree.
I thought he was a player first commissioner though.
league first. But
Silver
Iron
player.
But
Fist.
what I mean by that is that I think the thing that differentiated the NBA, let me put it to you this way, between all other sports, is that growing up, the NBA was the only league that took a couple of guys in that league
Individuals
and
made
made
them
them bigger
stars.
than the game.
So let me
Other
rephrase.
leagues weren't really.
Let me rephrase. I would say this about David Stern. I wouldn't even say league first or player first, but he was objective first and money first. And if this is going to make us more money, then we're going to do this. I don't see. For instance, I think the NFL is leaving money on the table by some of their behavior as far as the way they're antagonistic towards the players. They think the public wants this. I really think they're leaving money on the table. The NBA and David Stern never left money on the table. That was his whole thing. So whether it was, hey, I'm going to take these two dudes, Magic and Bird, and make them center, primetime, and make you root for stars, not teams, that you would say is player first. At the same time, saying, hey, you guys got to wear suits and that's league first. In the reality, it's all money first. Everything he did was with an eye towards how can I grow this? And that's why in 1989, they were the first professional sports league in America to say, we're getting on this plane and we're going to China because there's going to be a lot of money there. He did that.
No, even with
the game. His objective was grow the game.
grow the game, yes.
Sure.
Because
when you
pot
grow
of
the
money.
game, what happens to the pot?
You make more money.
You make more money. And I think what happens along the line is you go, hey, it's maybe the best thing that Patrick Ewing goes to the Knicks and that there's an envelope that maybe is a little colder than the other envelopes. Now, some people go, oh, that's, folklore, this, that, the other. And maybe it is. But a lot of these things happen. The Donahue thing. Apparently, Donahue called 3 other referees every single night a game was fixed. We don't know any of their names because a phone call was made and some bodies were buried.
Right.
So it's like, and he did those things because he knew or he wanted the game to go to a certain place and he wanted to expedite that.
He was Batman. In that sense, he was Batman. Like in the Dark Knight, he tells Commissioner Gordon, you got to tell them that Harvey died trying to save your son. And
I'll be the
bad guy.
He's the symbol,
because
I'm the bad
people need to believe in something.
Right.
And so David Stern absolutely did that with Donahue and a bunch of other things. He did stuff that if the public knew the truth, probably would get them a lot more upset. So they need to just
Like
believe
suspending Michael Jordan secretly for a year and a half, 2 years.
I don't think that happened.
I believe it.
Wait a minute. Go on that. What do you think that is? What's that rumor?
Oh, so Michael Jordan's retirement, right?
Yes.
There is to me, a very credible rumor
Go.
and a very believable rumor that actually wasn't a retirement
It was a
that first time.
suspension.
That it was a suspension for gambling.
Yeah.
And that I don't want to say anything about, I don't want to, God rest the dead, but some people think that what happened to MJ's dad had to do with the
I heard that.
Yeah.
Right. And so after that happened, then there's thoughts from some people that they were like, this is going too far. You need to sit down for a little while. And they
The
secretly
reason
suspended
why
him.
I say no is because
You never heard that one?
I heard the thing about the gambling debt. I never heard that the league suspended him. And
Yeah.
the
I heard
narrative.
Stern saying that's the rumor. Stern was like, "You need to sit down. We're
Sit
not
down
going to
for a
suspend you,
little
but
We're not. We
done.
can't. Well, you
We're
couldn't.
not-
You couldn't.
you
suspend
can't suspend the biggest
sports star in the world, but he could retire for a little while and then come back. But really, the league.
So my question is, and I trust me, want to believe in the conspiracy because it's a lot of fun. But my question is, Jordan knew how much leverage he had in the NBA at that time. Couldn't Jordan just say, "I'm not going nowhere. You're gonna have to suspend me"?
Unless the league had definitive proof that he was a degenerate gambler.
Well, we
And
knew
if
he gambled, but is he gambling on
I know,
games?
but if it was a situation that was as serious as that, then the Michael Jordan, who remember at that time in his career, made
Squeaky
the
clean.
bulk of his money off endorsements.
Right.
That guy and that guy's business takes a serious hit.
right. You can't.
he was making $34 million a year.
No, he
off
wasn't.
endorsement
At
in
that
the
time-
'90s.
At that time, he was making like $2 million off of his playing career, and
No,
maybe
that's
like
what he- that's what he-
18.
I heard
It wasn't- it
But
wasn't
what were
like-
you going to say? You were going to say.
I was going to say the one thing is like Michael Jordan made a shit ton of money for this league. That's the one thing that I don't believe. I think they would have found any way to get around it without taking out the biggest cash cow in sports. At the prime of his career, like there's got to be another way to discipline or
Also,
to go
he
about
seemed
it.
to take baseball really seriously. That's the other thing. Is like he was
Dude.
into it.
You ever watch that 30 for 30?
Yeah. It was
good.
It's
Right.
crazy because they were saying at the end he was
actually-
getting fucking good. Like
When
he's
he did
that
the
He
Premier
was
League.
no doubt improving.
Yo, so
If you actually, I mean, if you look at Michael Jordan's stats and sort of like what they are now, they're set in stone.
Yeah.
But if you actually were following it, my dad was like, he was no doubt getting
he
better.
was getting better. It's the craziest story I've ever heard. They said, I can't remember what, I think it was Matt Doherty, but whoever Michael Jordan's college roommate was when he was a freshman, said like maybe the first or second weekend they're there, say, hey, you want to go out? Let's go play pool.
It was the All-American kid that was voted, not him, at North Carolina.
What, Buzz Peterson?
It was
It
Buzz,
was Buzz Peterson. There you go,
Yeah,
Buzz
yeah,
Peterson.
yeah.
So he says, let's go play pool. And he said, I've never played pool before. He's like, all right, it's okay, I'll teach you. So he teaches him, and obviously he's like, I whoop his ass. He's never played pool before. He said this dude was so mad that he lost that for 2 weeks did not say a single word to me. Now remember, these guys are both on the team. So they're going to practice. They're playing. They're in the same classes because they're both freshmen. They're eating mess
Sleeping in
hall
the
at the
same
same
room.
time. Never spoke a word to him for 2 weeks. At the end of 2 weeks, he said, hey, man, you want to go play pool? He said, oh, okay, I guess he's out of his funk. Say, do you know we went and that motherfucker beat me? Because
Bust his
for
ass.
2 weeks,
Did nothing
he
but hang
sat
around.
around and practiced pool, and that was it.
I love it.
That's how crazy.
That's
he
how
is.
maniacal he is, right?
But that's how you get a gambling problem. Is even though all this shit is fixed, I can still beat it.
No,
I'm not
it's
even
true.
joking.
It's
Like that's
ego.
it.
It's
That's
straight
crazy.
arrogance.
That's how competitive you are. Say, give me the shit with the longest odds that I'm not ever supposed to win, and I'm a fucking beat it.
I also think
crazy,
with him, gambling can be all-consuming. You know, like when
Competition is all consuming for him.
Absolutely. And you know, when you're on stage, for example, with like stand up, like you can't really think about your girl pissing you off or these types of things, right? Like we can't sit there in that moment because we have to be so
have to-
focused,
you have to
right?
compartmentalize.
And I feel like when you gamble, that's also the same way. It's like you're so
It's
focused
also a way
on the
to
outcome.
further demoralize someone. Like if we're gambling, like if we're
Oh,
playing,
yeah,
you guys were out there playing like Mario Kart, right? 2K or whatever. Like when you
Not only beating them, taking
their
their
money.
money.
Taking
when you
money,
lose,
yeah.
when you lose at some shit like that, we used to play Madden, and it was not even for a lot of money. If you lose at Madden, you're already mad. But if you lose, then you gotta reach in your pocket and come out. And Jordan is beating these guys in
Yeah.
practice, and they're wagering thousands of dollars on this shit and on card games and all of that stuff. It's the height of being competitive because there's something on the line other than just your
Well, you
pride.
know what?
I'm
Like-
taking money out of your pocket.
That's a
As
great
far
point.
as gambling, not like the gambling with your buddies, but going to the casinos, the longest odds stuff. The other thing I always thought about was was basketball that easy for him? Where he's like, I need
something else.
I need something where there's a chance that I'm going to lose.
Yeah.
Oh.
Like think about where you at competitively in your sport, where it's like, this is so much guaranteed that I'm going to win this, that I need something else in my life to supplant that feeling of fear of, oh, I might lose this.
There's no challenges left.
And the
The only thing against that is Barkley gambles like hell. He never won shit.
I think he just likes to gamble.
I think Barkley gambles like he drinks.
Barkley just
Like it's just a fun
Yeah, it's a fun-
distraction.
he's a-
like
he
how
likes
would I-
vice.
Yeah,
He likes to have fun.
You know what
I
my
like
favorite
that
David
fun.
Stern story is though?
What?
Did you guys hear the Rome audio?
Dude, that shit
my
was
God.
so
Bro,
fucking
Are you still beating your wife that way?
Bro, like
I
to me,
think I got it off
No,
your Twitter.
have you stopped
to me-
beating your wife?
Have you stopped beating your wife? Think of the fucking balls.
Oh, yeah.
Like that went. Rome didn't even know what the fuck to do. Jim Rome is never in that position. He's always the other guy in that.
Well, I think part
and
of it
Stern
is-
neutered him.
Part of it is obviously
think that's
you don't
fair.
you don't expect
I don't think it's completely fair.
pussy ass motherfucker.
I don't think that's completely. He just fucking cut his.
You know why?
Your wife doesn't think it's fair.
because you don't expect the commissioner of a league to drop that shit. You might some jackass like us would come say that, but the other thing is,
Also, real talk. What can you say if you beat your wife? Yes.
well, no, there's no right answer.
Yeah.
Exactly, and that's something from law school. My buddy who's a lawyer told me that's a thing they teach in law school. It's
Which
like
is?
a loaded question like that, that's the example they give. But the type of questions you can throw out there that will basically either way shine the light in a certain way on the person you're asking the question. So if I ask, have you stopped beating your wife? There is no right answer.
Because
if yes means, yeah, I'm still beating my wife. No means, well, I used to beat my wife, but now I don't.
You're admitting.
Either way, you're admitting. So
Jesus Christ.
like he was
I'm
pulling
gonna
a
only
quote
start.
unquote.
Are you gonna wait? What was it? Yeah.
Have you stopped beating your wife?
Have you
yet?
stopped being your
beating your
wife?
wife.
Yeah.
And it was really.
Did you say have you stopped beating your vag?
No.
Stop it.
I was thinking about how I would like ask a loaded question
Are you
to my
stopping?
girl.
Are you,
You know what I mean? Are you still sucking my dick tonight?
Nah, you can get a real straight answer for that one.
What? Yeah, because she could be no, and I could be like, all right, but you was gonna.
moral
Knew you
victories.
were gonna suck my
Moral
dick.
victories. Oh man, yo, can we talk about this Houston Astros thing, man?
Okay, we obviously don't give a fuck about baseball because
No.
we're all men here, but
Yeah.
there is something that is quite interesting with this Houston Astros
I
thing.
cared about the story, no shit, for about 15 minutes.
Okay,
I was into it.
but that's a lot for
That's
baseball.
a lot for baseball, yo. That's
So-
the longest I ever cared.
So they have a situation where they were apparently putting buzzers on their on the players.
Well, you got to start at the beginning. Like the beginning
go.
was, hey, the Astros are stealing signs, and
Which to be honest with you has been going on.
what
and
every
it's
team
pretty-
does.
Every team.
yeah,
steals.
every team you're not supposed to.
And by the way, if you steal signs in the regular way, it's not even frowned upon.
it's a guy with
what is the
binoculars.
regular way?
So what I would say the regular way of stealing signs would be if you're tipping your signs, right? Like in baseball, you have different signs. You sign them in for pitches or for when you're gonna run. Or
But
whatever.
mostly, just anybody who's listening who doesn't understand baseball, the catcher will tell the pitcher what pitch to throw and usually use his fingers between his legs to give off a sign.
Yes.
right, or
Right.
signs that are coming in from the third base coach or whatever.
Right.
If you realize that there's a tendency, right, and if you realize that they do a certain sequence or whatever every time this pitch comes, and you steal the sign that way, that's acceptable.
It's like the NFL when they line up in a certain way, the corners would be like, okay, there's only 3 plays they can do with this
Right.
lineup.
All right. So
right, and
Right.
but that's you using gamesmanship.
Right.
That's allowed. One question I have for us: if you are on second base, so they already get somebody on base, and you have the ability to look at the pitcher legally
Right.
because you've earned
That's
the
all
position.
good.
That's all
You're good. That's more specifically what I'm talking about. If you can if you had a guy who could
Pitcher
see
has
what the
his
catchers are doing,
hand on the
see
ball.
it, all that's good.
That's allowed,
That's
yeah.
good.
Okay.
This is not that though.
So that Larry one, which is not illegal, it's perfectly legal, is people watch film. They watch film
Right.
and they see the things and they try to pick up on the tendencies, even though people change their signs up, right?
Yeah.
Level 2 is in game now. It's not like me from watching a bunch of film. In game, I'm getting a signal from somebody, either the guy on second base,
Right.
or someone in the dugout who sees something and
Yeah.
they let me know. Level 3 is what they were doing, which is
no, there's no level 3.
Or
this
whatever,
level
this-
this is fucking
level
amazing.
No, because there's levels above
Right.
the next level I'm about to say. So the next level
So level
is
3 is the beginning of cheating.
yeah. So they go into the video replay room, which I didn't even know they had access to. That's the MLB video replay room.
It's right there in the
But so they go there and they watch the shit because it's got a close up and everything. And then they grab a trash can and would bang, and depending on how many times they bang on the trash can, that the batter here, oh, this one's a fastball, oh, this is a changeup, whatever.
I think they would not bang if it was a fastball, and if they saw that it was a changeup, whatever that sound
Whatever
was,
what-
they bang on a trash can, and now the pitcher knows, or now the batter knows.
Now the
don't
batter
swing at
knows,
this.
right? Swing, don't swing.
Don't swing at this as a changeup.
Right.
Because I think a changeup gets crazy at the
veers
end.
off.
So
Yeah.
then the next level, they're like, because they started feeling it might be a little suspicious. Some dudes
See, it's a
banging on
bang,
trash
bang.
can.
Yeah. So the buzzers.
The next level is they have a device that they would tape, almost like a wire. If you're an informant, a wire that they had taped on the guy.
Yes.
And then it would buzz
Instead of the bangs.
Yeah, and also Apple Watches too.
Because you can text.
The pulse, yeah.
Yes,
right.
yes,
Pulses,
yes,
right?
yes.
And so the crazy thing is they got the video of Altuve hitting that walk-off home run, and as he's coming
This
down,
is wild. You see
he
this?
says, "Don't rip my jersey off because I'm wearing the shit." Like
He says that's not what he was saying. He was saying it.
he said something about his wife.
Yeah, he
it
says
was
that's
the
not
worst
what he
lie
was
ever,
saying.
and also the best lie ever because at the time when no one knows there's a scandal, say, "Why were you saying that?" Oh, it's because of my wife. People are like, "Yeah, that makes sense." You know, women make you do crazy things, right?
Now, but here's the thing: after crossing home plate, he by himself runs into the dugout.
Yep.
Does
Changes his shirt.
then goes into the locker room, does something. I think he comes back out with a different shirt.
Comes out with like a World Series champ shirt or
Boom,
whatever.
exactly. But think about that. You just hit the walk-off home run in the World Series and you don't celebrate with your teammates?
Yeah.
That's peculiar.
Which again, if you don't watch baseball, when you hit a game-winning home
the
run,
whole team is
as
waiting
you
for
come around to home, the team comes out to home base and they usually mob you and throw water.
It's your moment that you've been
Yeah.
thinking about since Little League. You know what I have a question about?
They also had one more thing, like one stat somebody pulled up. Home games and away games.
Oh,
with
yeah.
Altuve in the
It was a
playoffs.
joke.
His numbers at home, where they have
Their
access to the
numbers,
video
period,
booth,
yeah.
his in particular, the ones I heard about, were crazy. Like 427 batting average. In baseball, like a 300 is good.
It's Hall of Famer.
427.
So why did just Altuve do so well? Why would they not buzz
No, the
around
whole-
It was everybody.
The
No,
whole
it was
team.
actually it was the team.
The team was doing
the
it.
team. I mean, Altuve's numbers obviously went through the roof. I think he was a World Series MVP that year. But the team, in general, on the road, particularly at Dodger Stadium, didn't really hit as well. But at home, they were
killed.
just killing.
So this is an interesting thing about baseball. This is how difficult hitting a baseball is even when you know what pitch is coming, it only lifts your batting average, what is it?
A little bit.
30%?
Not
No,
even.
30% is like
15%.
15?
But here's the thing, though. That's
Is the
thing about
difference between
baseball.
a World Series and not.
Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
100%.
Like you're failing 7 out of 10 times you go up there,
100%.
right? And
You're going to the Hall of
it-
Fame.
And you're in the Hall of Fame. You're failing 7 out of 10 times.
100%.
So any sort
Of
of
advantage is major.
Is major. My question is this.
Yeah.
I haven't read the rules. I haven't read the baseball CBA. What I want to know is, does it say anywhere that you can't do this?
I think so.
What is it like? What,
I don't know. I don't know the rule, but I know it's against the rules because you can't suspend a dude for a year for something that's not technically illegal.
They can suspend you for
They
whatever.
You got suspended for a year?
They suspended the GM.
Oh, they fired him.
The GM. Well, no,
They suspended him
the
first, then they
league
fired him,
suspended
yeah.
them. The GM and the manager.
Once I heard
for
the
a
year
year.
suspension, I knew they were going to get fired.
They were gonna get fired.
because suspended for a year.
You're out.
Yeah.
Like suspended for a whole season. I'm like, they're gonna let them go.
It's not
So
even.
they keep-
It's also like it shows that they're guilty, and it's like keeping them around makes everyone question the veracity
The
of your World
organization.
Series. So you say, hey, we didn't want like the owner. That's his way of saying, I don't know, and my players. So we get rid of the guys who are in charge. But like, this is what my buddy said. Baseball is the cheatingest ass sport in the world because it's the only sport that they've every single way. I was telling you guys about this earlier. They've got steroids.
Yep.
They've got a team in 1919 or whatever
Black Sox.
through the World Series. Literally,
Shout out to
just
Arnold Rothstein.
through it, right? You've got
Shoeless Joe Jackson? Was
yeah.
that?
He's the
That-
mafia guy. Rothstein is the
Rothstein is the
guy.
mafia guy who got to the Black Sox and then convinced them to throw the
World Series. Like they bet on the World Series that
I
the
love
White Sox would lose,
amazing mafia.
and then the White Sox went out and fucking threw it, and that's how.
And
you,
the thing about
How
Joe
do you
Jackson,
throw? Did they win a World Series already? How would you get
you
to
throw
the
the World.
promised land?
You get to the World Series, and then you're like, "Oops, I swung for it again."
No.
Like,
I understand how you would play that.
What makes
What
a
I-
person do that?
What I
Oh,
don't understand
it was
is
money.
Money!
The White Sox. The thing about the White Sox was I think Comiskey was the owner of
Yeah.
the White Sox at that time, which the park is named after, and they were super fucking pissed with him that they couldn't get more money out of him. They felt underpaid and undervalued, And so not only were they throwing the World Series to get the money that Rothstein was giving them, but it was also as a big fuck you to the uppers in their organization. They know they were going to get caught.
Also, the park's named after Mr. Cellular One.
Oh, Mr. Cellular One, right? They changed it from Comiskey Park to
But what I'm curious about is, like, there's no amount of money that you could pay me.
Oh, bullshit.
No.
Bullshit.
the Obama set.
No, not to bomb a set. I do that for free all the time. I'm talking about there's no amount of money. If I dedicate my entire life to winning a World Series or winning an NBA championship,
how many
no
MLB
amount of money you can
teams-
pay me to throw it.
How many MLB teams were there at the time? There might have been like 8 teams.
There weren't a lot.
Oh, so they're like, we could get here,
Might
no
have been.
problem.
I assume
By
there
the way,
wasn't 30
this
teams.
team at that time, because this was before the 20s and the Yankees and stuff, this was the greatest baseball team of all time.
Yeah.
With what a lot of people think at that time, Joe Johnson.
Joe Jackson.
No, Jackson.
Joe
Schulz
Jackson,
yeah.
excuse me, was who a lot of people felt like was the greatest player.
Yeah. So I mean, like, yeah, part of it is they probably thought
They thought they could get
we'll
back.
another one.
Okay, so that's it. So we're back into that's fair. That I understand more. But if it's like the NFL, like for example, you
30
have
teams.
you might have one chance, and
Never.
every team fluctuates every year.
Dog, let me tell
might
you
have
right now.
one chance.
Let me tell you right now, it's all relative. Because if you tell me right now, I go to Jimmy Garoppolo and say, here it is, $1 billion, throw it, he's throwing the Super Bowl. $1 billion?
I wouldn't do it.
Bro, he ain't even throwing in the Super Bowl. What are we talking about?
6 passes.
He's gonna look at you like, "What do you want me to do? Fumble the handoff? Like, what can I? How can I do?"
You have to throw the Super Bowl.
Bro, there's almost no way Jimmy Garoppolo could fucking fuck
Yeah,
up
he
the
could.
Super
Son.
Bowl.
Yeah, he could.
Maybe if he fumbles.
No, yeah, he could.
Call audibles into passes.
Audible.
Right.
Just audible into passes.
If he
Just
audible
anyone-
3 times, he's getting
If
yanked.
you
the fuck
are
out
if
of
you
the
are a
game.
main player, if you're a main player, that's you can absolutely throw a game.
Sure.
It's and so, but you have that. You have Pete Rose betting on his own team. You've got steroids, obviously.
Which you should be allowed to do. You should be allowed to bet that you're going to win.
except for the fact that we don't know if he was just betting that they would win.
Well, that's where it gets iffy. But if you're
If
if
they
you're a
had
boxer, you
transparency
can
with
bet if
betting,
you're going to win.
right?
What?
Yeah, if they had transparency with betting, can't you just be like, I'm going to bet $1 million we win. Let's go.
Then
I love that you're invested.
This is the other one that I forgot. There was a scandal between the Astros and the Cardinals like 3 years ago because the Cardinals hacked their fucking scouting database and stole their scouting reports. Again, all I could think of is like, holy shit, the nerds in baseball are doing all this high-tech ways to win, and our nerds in basketball are like, PR in the fourth corner, James Harden.
But it's hard, bro. In baseball,
Bro, it's
it's
white
a
people
failure
cheating,
sport.
man. They're the best at cheating. You can't fuck
It's
with
American.
Hey,
It's
it's
the
white-
American
white
game.
people in the
It's
NBA.
the American
Yeah,
game.
bro.
They been cheating for a
Actually,
long time.
We the best at it.
Yo, let's talk, yo.
You know what I'm saying?
Got him. You know what I mean?
Right. You know what I'm
You're
saying?
nice at it, yo. Yeah,
For real, dude. We were killing
Cheating
that.
since the fucking beginning.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
It's a lot of Indian people that do the analytics in the NBA.
Hey, we too honorable, man. If it ain't a fucking A on the line, it ain't worth it.
How come y'all don't give a fuck about baseball?
Oh, it just sucks. The sport sucks. It's just
terrible.
boring.
It's a boring
It's
sport.
not
It
a
existed
sport.
before sports, so
It's a really
everybody
hard
watched it.
activity.
The most interesting story in baseball this entire year was this shit that just happened right
And
now.
it's barely interesting.
It is interesting.
Every once in a while, there's a fight or something like
no, that shit
physical.
ain't interesting. This is interesting. You don't
Dude,
think
when
this is
Randy
interesting?
Moss threw that pitch and it
Randy
hit the
Johnson?
pigeon,
Randy
or
Moss.
Randy Johnson, yeah, they all look alike.
All those fucking Randys.
Come on, a little interracial, all look alike.
yeah,
humor.
yeah, yeah.
Tall people, lol.
Okay, what was that?
Tall people.
Tall people. That's what it was. Yeah, it's just a boring fucking sport. And just like a lot of TV shows back in the day that don't hold up, it's like, yeah, that was all there was there to look at. You know, like I'm sure looking at the fucking stars and finding Orion's
That's
belt.
what it is.
That was
Watching a
fun.
baseball game is like watching a fucking
You know what
Charlie Chaplin movie.
It is. Charlie Chaplin's really funny
Yeah,
when
man.
you had nothing else.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But now that
Also,
there's
it was
sound.
it was a slower fucking society, right?
Yeah.
So everything took like a long.
Yeah, they didn't even have
Yeah.
cars,
Also,
yo.
right, and so like even like when you look at when you
They did.
They didn't have cars back in like 1908 or whatever the fuck. They were riding horses into the game.
So,
You know
like,
what I mean?
there
Like,
was no
bro,
cars.
they had cars, dog.
Yo.
Like,
When did we get cars?
When was the first baseball game played? I bet it's in the 1800s.
it was
They had
1800s. They didn't
yeah,
buy-
we
they
had
had-
no
no,
cars.
there's something
They
more
rode a
important
fucking
than that.
horse and buggy. You don't think
Think
this shit was
about-
exciting?
Think
I
about
think
the
that
other
was
sports
fun.
at the
Game.
time.
Dude, they had nothing to do.
Think
Yeah,
about
think about how
it's not even
nothing
that.
there
it was
is
like,
to
it was
do.
like there was a
Not even
lot
that.
of- there was a
Electricity
lot of
like
time.
60 years old. You know what I mean?
What?
The first baseball game is in 1846.
Bro, when was
Oh, shit.
electricity invented?
That was like the Civil
When
War.
did black people get free? Fuck electricity? 1846. Y'all were still.
20 years after that, bro.
How much?
Holy shit.
Yeah, 40 years.
If you thought baseball was boring now, imagine from
you imagine
1840
being-
to 1865.
Can you imagine being a time traveler from like the 50s, going back in time, talking about like, why are black people ain't playing baseball? Like black people.
That's
ain't
like
even
the
free.
last fucking question you would ask.
Yeah.
If you time travel back to 1846, you gonna ask why niggas not playing baseball? We got bigger problems.
Well, you don't know that yet.
What
No,
the
you don't
fuck?
know that yet.
What, can we get some shoes?
Van acting like he would start the uprising in 1846. Come on,
Wasn't
yo.
nobody- no one-
We got problems. I gotta fix them.
Whoa, hold on, my nigga. If we
Yes.
travel back in time,
Yes,
if we
you
travel
may
back
proceed.
in time, you might start the uprising. But if like if you go back and you see that, I'm not gonna be thinking about baseball.
Yeah, but what if you don't know where you are?
Right.
Okay, because there's no way you could predict the exact year. All the past kind of
You mean
look
like
the same.
Quantum Leap?
Quantum Leap.
Love that show.
Yo, son,
I
shouts
wanna
to
re-
Quantum
I wanna
Leap.
reboot
son.
that
Sam,
shit.
yo.
Yo,
I wanna
Sam,
reboot Quantum Leap so bad, man.
yeah. So, yo, I did a movie with that dude. What's his
Sam?
name?
Scott
Joe
Bakula?
Oh,
Pontigliano.
Scott
That guy's
Bakula or
great.
Sam?
No, Sam.
Oh,
Joe
man.
Pontigliano. First of all, amazing actor.
Joe Pantoliano is not
Quantum Leap?
Yeah, he's the guy
Joey
who
Pants?
Nah,
Joey
that's not
Pants.
Joey
No,
Pants.
that's
not-
that's
no.
like no, that's not him.
Yes,
Not
it
him.
is.
No, it's
Different
not.
No, it
guy,
ain't.
yo.
On everything, put it
Yo,
up
you
on the
looking
screen.
mad
That's not
foolish
him.
right now,
No,
Joe.
it's not in Quantum
Can I
Leap.
tell you how much more foolish I look when I said, fam, you were amazing at Quantum Leap. Son, that's not.
Son, that's Joey Pants, dog. That's the god, bro.
Son,
Yeah,
Joey
Joey
Pants was
Pants-
in Quantum Leap.
No, he
son.
wasn't.
He's not in that
Go
shit.
to Quantum
He might
Leap.
have been in one episode.
He's the
No,
No,
That's
that's not
not
him. That's like
him,
Dean
yo.
Stockwell.
No, it's not.
Dean
Dean
Stockwell.
Stockwell.
Great
Dean Stockwell.
fucking
Go to
call.
Dean Stockwell.
job,
That's
man.
like yeah, that's not him.
Son, that's TMZ.
That's
That's
him.
him.
That's
My
him.
man
My man don't
Sam.
look nothing like Joey
That
Pants.
motherfucker looks absolutely 0% like
Let me
Joey
tell you
Pants.
something.
You white face
Plus,
this
he was
man.
100 years old at the time.
Yeah.
Son, can I tell y'all
Joey
something?
Pants got popping in the Matrix.
I-
This nigga's born in 1936. Like, it's not even the same. Like, what? Like, what's that? It's like, what are you talking
When I
Hold
tell
on.
you,
Wait a second. What is this description here?
what is this?
His beautiful cherubic face with
That's
his
how they do you on
dimples and
IMDb. Like, he's public. He's people
Yo,
wrote
man.
that.
a crown of curls.
They wrote that in like the 50s.
Come on,
people
son.
like that.
Come
I know
on,
where you're
son.
going.
Come
Stop.
on.
No,
son.
no. Just
Yo,
move
go
on.
look up
Move along.
the means IMDb. See how they describe his head.
Not a crown of curls. I know.
Okay, so I literally told Joey Pants how big a fan. Yo, son, and you know what I realized?
What did he say?
This is fucked up. I never congratulated him in it. I came up to him on set and I was like, yo.
Oh, God.
I go, yo, I gotta tell you something, man. I'm like a huge fan of Quantum Leap, bro. Like I would watch that show back in the day. It was one of my favorite shows. Like, and I'm so messed up because I forgot how the show ended. Like I don't remember how it ended, but it was one of the best shows ever. And I remember now him being like, hey man, yeah, it was a pretty good show. You know, that was good. That was good. That show. I think I agree with you. Like, he
I
thought
fuck with it. It was good. It was
Yeah.
unpredictable.
Yo, you never know.
Yeah,
When
you
it
never
was-
know where he's gonna be. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
And you
I-
were just sharing with them?
Son, and I was like,
Was
what
this
was
on
that
that
thing
Johnny
supposed to-
Carson show?
Say what?
Was this on that Johnny Carson show?
No, this was on. I did a movie with him. I did this movie called Feast of the Seven Fishes.
Okay.
And he was a really cool guy, nice guy, totally Me Tooing the
Great
shit out of this young girl that
Oh,
was
that's
on
what's
it.
up.
Like,
That's
like
what's up.
That's how you know he's a great
school
actor.
Hollywood.
That's how you know he's a
like,
great actor.
Hey, babe. Yeah, old school. Like, sit on
Joey,
my
get in
lap.
them pants. That's what I'm talking about.
Anyway,
Joey forced his way into them pants. Joey, take off them pants if you want to keep this job.
You okay over
son,
here?
I'm done.
Oh,
I'm done. Anyway,
Quantum Leap was the shit though.
shit, man. I didn't know he wasn't in that.
Nah, he wasn't in
No,
that.
but
shit.
like you gotta. This
Are
is-
we still on why baseball's corrupt?
No, I'm trying to think about like him going home and say, hey, how was work? That was cool. I met this young comedian, Andrew Schulz. He's really funny. Loves Quantum Leap for some reason. When
I had a
did
couple
he
times.
shut the fuck up about it?
Bro, I had a couple times. These old motherfuckers don't remember me at all. There was the old guy that was in. He was in Breaking Bad in the wheelchair. Do you remember
I
him?
never watched Breaking Bad.
You ever watched
Talking about the
Breaking Bad?
kid?
No, the old man that was in the wheelchair that couldn't
Oh,
speak.
Hector Salamanca.
Hector Salamanca.
Oh, I love him.
Yeah.
And he played my grandfather on a show, Benders,
Oh,
which I was
yeah.
the lead of the show.
Right.
And I saw him
'Cause
walking down the
he was in
street.
Scarface too, right?
Oh, son, he's a legendary
was
actor.
he in that? Oh, Scarface.
Was he in Scarface? Am I thinking
Yeah.
about the same guy?
I can believe it.
There were like
Yes.
there was one Hispanic on Scarface.
But he
Everyone
was
Jewish.
wasn't he the hitman in Scarface? Am I thinking about the same guy?
And he's the ding 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 guy.
The Ding Ding guy, same guy.
Yeah,
He was
yeah.
the hitman in Scarface, the one that was going to
That
blow
motherfucker.
up the place, and Tony killed him, and then
That guy.
and then Sosa came and was like,
Oh, yeah,
Remember
yeah.
Tony told him no wife, no kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a silent killer.
We did a whole fucking show, okay? He was on my show. Okay? I walked up to him on the street and I was like, hey, man, I remember Benders. We did the show together, and he literally said this to me. He just goes, yeah. And then walked away.
Right. That's what I like about old people, man.
They don't give a fuck.
Don't give a fuck.
Dude,
They've
let
been
me
here
tell you
about
too
me,
long,
that's for
man.
sure.
Let me tell you some shit. I went to the David Stern Memorial yesterday.
Oh, yeah. How was that?
It was cool. His son was hilarious. But you have all these people come up. Adam Silver, Magic Johnson, Val Ackerman, the first commissioner of WNBA, and Rick Welch, and all these people are really touching, some funny stories, whatever. And then Pat Riley comes up, and we're like, oh, shit, here we go. Like, Pat Riley, if you don't know, is legendary for his speeches. He gets 6 figures for speaking engagements. I'm like, I'm finally about to witness the magic of Pat Riley. And he gets up there, and he spoke for 40 goddamn minutes. And no lie, about 34 of those 40 minutes were about himself. Not stories of him with David Stern, just Pat Riley growing up stories. And I almost quit basketball in the 8th grade. But then I hit a game-winning shot in Mother Superior at St. Joseph's. Had everyone give me a standing applause. And that's what made me keep playing basketball. It was nothing to do with David Stern. And towards the end, my favorite part is he says, I didn't know David Stern that well. Are you here?
You know what? That's what I like about black funerals, though. See, if you're doing that at a black funeral, somebody ain't going to go, all right, Tyler. Get the fuck out now.
It's Pat
it ain't about
Riley,
you. I get it, but somebody's gonna be like, nah, we done.
But the thing I was thinking about is like, man, someone said, well, he's 75 years old. I'm like,
Pat Riley is?
Pat Riley's 75 years
great.
old. And
so
Him
you
and
gotta
Michael
give him
Douglas
the
are the same
pass.
person to me.
You gotta give him the pass.
Michael Douglas. I bumped into Michael Douglas at a movie premiere, and this dude is about your height. Man.
They're all tiny, bro.
It's
crazy.
shocking how small he is.
crazy.
They're all tiny.
He's a short little dude, man.
Listen, Pat Riley bombed his own, bombed the RIP speech. Like,
as someone else said, it was like he was doing his own eulogy. That's what it felt like. He just kept talking about himself. He had 2 David Stern stories.
You gonna report this story on ESPN?
In 40 minutes? No, man. I gave it to the Flagrant mob or the Flagrant army.
So is this what you do? Like stories that you really like? You want to go on ESPN?
Yo, we would love that.
Pat
We
Riley.
would love that
Well, first of
segment.
all,
give us
all
the
runoff,
drama, bro.
All the runoff, you just bring it here. So
Well,
people
first
can
of
get
all,
it.
I ain't
would
gonna
love
fuck.
that.
I like going to Miami and they treat me really good down there, so I'm not gonna fuck that up at all. So.
You already did it.
No.
You fucked, dog.
No.
You,
It's on Patreon.
It's over now.
now we putting this whole thing out.
Put it
We
out.
putting that
and-
first. You saying, what were you saying? Fuck Pat Riley. That's
Fuck
the
Pat
episode.
Riley. Let me tell you.
Featuring
Let me
Amin
tell you why.
Elhassan.
Yeah, it's got to be fuck Pat Riley and also I punched Kanye in the nuts.
No, face.
Face.
You went
His
right
face
after
better?
him. You went right after
He
him.
went
Right
low
after
blow.
him. Beat
Oh,
the shit
you-
out of him. Kanye West. You know what's crazy? I'm trying to think of the way I would write that TMZ headline.
Which
Like,
one?
About him fucking over Pat Riley like that.
Yeah, why you dogged out Pat Riley?
Like,
or
why,
why?
how you dogged out Pat Riley.
Why would you write it?
I'm thinking how I would write it. I'm thinking,
Why would you?
No, I said how, but
First of all,
also
why though?
the first thing is I would put, this is how that headline would look.
Yeah.
This is how you take that piece of video, you write the TMZ
It's a
headline.
quote first, right?
It's not, well,
Doesn't it always start with a
the headline's
quote?
not a quote. The first thing you got to do is put Pat Riley.
Right.
Because you want people to click on it.
Yes.
So you
But
put,
when it say quote fuck Pat Riley unquote,
if you said that, but I
You
wouldn't
didn't
say it
say
if you
that.
didn't say it. So this is what I would do. I would put Pat Riley bombed in David Stern's memorial.
Right.
Then in small letters, ... says Amin Elhassan. So it's big out there, and then laid on you at the end. Like it's all real, and we can't get in trouble.
We have sound effects? Guys, new things popping up in the studio all the time.
Since y'all changed the name,
Now, let's move away from, since he changed the name.
y'all changed the name.
Okay, let's move away from.
Andrew Schulz is Flagrant 2.
Thank
Bitch, this
you,
is my
bro.
house. Yeah.
Thank you, man. It costs a lot of money. All right, let's take a break for a second, pay some bills. What? Everybody watching at home, I'm in a different shirt? Yes, because I recorded this the other day. But listen, you know that this company is near and dear to my heart. Well, actually, it doesn't make it all the way up to my heart because that's just how I'm built. But maybe some of you guys on this, it would go all the way up to your heart. We're talking about Blue Chew, okay? If you're new to this podcast, Blue Chew has been holding us down, okay? Not only taking care of us, but taking care of our girlfriends, taking care of random girls, taking care of wives, okay? This is a great birthday gift that you get your shorty. It's the hardest dick you'll ever have in your life. bluechew.com. Okay? You're going to get it for free. All you got to do is go to bluechew.com, use the offer code Flagrant, all right? Just like the entire asshole army has done by now. I don't care where I am. There's an asshole army member coming up to me after a show, keeping that asshole tight, but opening the asshole maybe of his girlfriend. That's a possibility, always consensual. Now, all you gotta do is you go to the website. You pay $5 shipping, but everything else is free. Get your free trial. Give the night of your life to your wife. It's simple as that. Your girlfriend, whoever it is. Okay, you got a girl that you need to impress. You want to lay it down the first time. You go for it. You bust too early and you need to run it back. You know I don't run it back without the chew. If you need to run it back, chew it up, chew it down. All right, that's what it is. BlueChew.com. All right. Make sure you use the offer code Flagrant. That's how we're doing it. I love you. Let's get back to the show. Van.
Yes.
You are from the great state of Louisiana.
Yes, Baton Rouge.
You grew up in the hometown of the Tigers.
LSU, baby.
Oh, shit.
You maybe went to LSU?
Yes.
You happen to be a huge fan of the Tigers?
I am.
You watched the game?
I did.
You feel good about this?
Feel good about what?
About the Tigers'
You
victory?
sound like
Fucking right. Of course I do. Why? Like, I feel like there's an anvil's about to drop on my head.
I don't know.
because he's
I don't know.
talking like an immigrant. You like tigers? you
Nah, it
you
was a big
say-
fucking huge deal. Obviously in Baton Rouge, man, really in South Louisiana period, that's the biggest fucking shit we got.
Bro.
My cousin lives in Shreveport. I'm there all the time.
It's like a
They worship
professional
the
team to
Tigers.
them.
That's all they got.
Oh, it's a
they
big
got
Like?
the Saints and the Tigers.
Like a professional
It
team?
is, I guess, a professional team.
It is 100,000 people in the stadium going crazy. So much of the fucking economy of the state, so much of the pride and the sense of self, like has to do. I'm gonna be honest with you, not to overstate the importance of sports, but there's a chance that integration happens slower in the South, if not for college football, because like Alabama goes and plays SC, right? They get worked by SC, Charles Rogers and them. When they come back, Bear Bryant is now like, I got to get some black guys.
It was on them boys.
You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
so college football, because as much as we talk about like the differences
bucks.
of people in the South, the culture is largely homogenous.
Dude.
Like we eat the same thing, we worship the same God. Like especially in South Louisiana, everything's really the same. The one indicator that separates us is race, and so like everybody's
Worship
fucking
the same God. You know what I
Oh
mean?
my! Well, I mean black and white people, right? I mean black and white people, but like
That is
just
some
looking
shit.
at each other.
That is some shit black and white people do. Is we think nobody else is here.
I mean,
No, well, here's what I got.
in Baton Rouge is really
Yo, is that Indian dude still the senator or the governor of Louisiana?
Bobby Jindal?
Yeah.
Bobby Jindal.
I don't know. Shouts to my man, though. You know, I was thinking about...
what the?
No, all these
What just
people,
happened?
you know, Bobby Jindal, all these Indians hate him because they say he's whitewashed. And
Yeah.
He converted to Christianity, and then he named his kid Bobby. But it's like a bunch of woke warriors with white significant others. And it's like, you're just going to marry a kid, and they're going to be half white, and you're probably going to name him some shit like Bobby. So why are you so mad at this guy? You know what I mean? I just don't see what the big deal is.
Spicy.
Yo.
How do we feel about the woke warrior? Oh, this is a good conversation with you guys here.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because you both have married black.
I'm not married.
Yes.
But yeah.
No.
Black. Yeah, I kept it in the culture.
You kept it in the culture, but also
How in the
isn't she
culture?
Swedish or something?
No, she's Sudanese.
That's
But
what's
like
up.
from Sweden.
She grew up in Sweden.
Grew up in Sweden. Okay, so close.
So what you
Take
saying?
that.
What you gonna say is how do you feel about?
So what we were
interracial-
gonna say, how do we feel about the woke warrior with the white wife? Woke warrior, white
You mean
wife.
like- kinda like Jesse
www.
Williams before he broke up with his wife. When Jesse Williams,
Yeah.
Not Jesse's wife was black,
She was black.
and then he broke
Jesse
up with
down
her,
over the
Yeah.
white.
and then he went white.
After he got woke. That's what gets you is getting woke. That's why I'm not woke. Yo, I'm sleep.
Because once you go woke, you go white.
No,
Yeah.
Jesse was with a black lady for a very long time. It didn't work out, and now he's with a different black lady.
Oh, word! I thought he was with Minka Kelly. He
That
was with
might have
Friday Night
happened.
Lights.
That might have happened in between.
Listen, I'm not knocking him, bro. I would have taken down that
You know,
too. That's Friday Night
I'm
Lights.
gonna be honest with you. There are a lot of people, and there are a lot of people that think that it matters, and then there's a correlation. I mean,
You went back to Foghorn.
No, I'm not
I say, oh, there's some white women around here. I say.
this is my reality. This is my thing. I don't think that it really matters that much. I do think that rightly so, it takes down your credibility with the sisters. And it should. It should take down your credibility. Alex knows. It takes down.
What do the sisters say to you,
You're going to be less effective as a woke warrior or whatever if you don't have black women with you, because they're the biggest power base and the most loyal power base,
and also the most motivated.
The most motivated, and a lot of times
niggas don't do shit. You need women to be like, let's do this, and then guys are like, oh well, yeah.
Well, you need them to always hold it down, because they're the ones really that have the energy.
Let's be real.
You want to go march? There's some pussy there.
Exactly. In 2020, like, you need women to be the driving force.
Even if
that's all history, just women nagging. That's the only reason men get shit done.
Word up.
Let me shut this bitch up right quick. God
fair
damn.
or unfair,
that's why they call them nagging.
For a lot of sisters, and it's not shit.
Look at the camera one time. Just stare at it, yo.
Oh, son.
My motherfucker.
Woo! We get flagrant today, boys.
My man got thirsty off of that line.
Yeah. So TMZ, huh?
We good.
Okay, go on.
No, I'm just saying, for them, they're gonna look at that and see that as a symbol that you ascended, and once you ascended, you saw a new part of the world, and that part of the world no longer included black ladies. I can't speak for all sisters, I never would, but a lot of them see things that way.
I think that's different than getting famous and getting a white person. I think it looks, if you're going to be woke, don't you need to be about it? Don't you need to be the foremost motherfucker? If you're going to speak on it and try to change people, shouldn't you be the motherfucker that's the most about what you're talking?
What are you speaking on, though?
Black pride, my pride in my race. For me, it was important to have a brown wife, because it's like
it definitely is important, because you have to build communities, and part of the family has been at the same time.
And I don't think it just takes away your credibility with women. I think any dude who's kind of skeptical is like, this motherfucker talking all this shit, and the most important person in his life.
I get it. To me, I understand that. I understand the skepticism when somebody is marries interracially. At the same time, though, you do not want to penalize somebody for falling in love. You want to try to what you want to try to do.
That's the gayest shit I ever heard, yo.
I mean, it's just real.
That shit is facts.
Hey,
I mean, it's just real. You don't want to penalize somebody for falling in love.
No,
but the reality is that when you see somebody and they've married outside of their race or whatever, you side eye them. It looks weird.
To me, but not in general. You're talking about specifically for people who are cultural leaders of a black pride movement.
Cultural leaders of a
not your random.
Yes, correct.
No. Really, to be honest with you, be happy, do whatever you want to do. But there's a natural inclination to be like, oh, it's kind of interesting. But I don't like. I really wish that people were able to live their lives and do whatever they wanted to do.
So do I.
Things happen.
But I also think it takes time to fall in love, right? We act like falling in love is this instant thing, especially for a dude. It's not. So you are investing time in this person.
Right.
You're investing emotion. You're investing love. You're taking all that time, emotion, and love that you could be investing in that group of people that you are supporting and investing in another
I'll be honest
group.
with you. I just can't tell. I can't tell Harry Belafonte that it, like, at the end of his life, fucking.
I don't know anything about that guy. Is there another guy?
I don't know.
What?
Rick, I can't tell Rick James like
Harry Belafonte, like he was on the front lines of the civil rights movement.
He's saying he doesn't know enough about his personal.
But I don't know enough about Harry
How about
Belafonte.
this? At the end of his life, Frederick Douglass married a white woman.
Damn.
So
Let's go,
Yeah, I know
Fred.
that.
So you
Yeah.
can't.
Let's go, Fred.
So you can't, like, to me.
But
you
wait,
can't
hold on.
Tell.
Let me just say,
Frederick, like, you can't besmirch the name of Frederick Douglass.
Hold on. Frederick Douglass marrying a white woman is a much
At the end of his life. At the end.
Still much greater flex than
That's a big
anybody dating a
flex,
white woman
bro.
right now. Back then,
Yeah.
To me, that tells me you really have to like white women.
How much does she weigh?
I don't know. Because you think she's
Did he
probably
get
like, I don't know.
a fat
I don't
white
know,
woman?
never
Did
seen
he
it.
But
start
fat
that
was probably
trend?
a big deal. Fat was probably desired back in the day
'Cause
when
it means you
motherfuckers
had
had less
money.
food.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Shit.
Back when people were starving.
So he's a fucking trendsetter.
Yo.
This
All
guy
I'm
was the
saying
original.
is that
That's the
before
original
we fuck over
yacht.
Frederick Douglass in this motherfucker. All I'm saying is that you can't really look at him and say that anything that he did wasn't impactful,
was invalid, right.
Right,
or
because
whatever.
it was before the white woman, like you said. Once
But
it's
then once
after,
the white woman, nobody's going, yo, late in life, Freddie D was really
really dropping some bars.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Well, people-
name his
what-
lane
what-
life
no, no,
shit.
no, no, married a white woman, like, early in
what
his
people
life.
would say was that everything that he was saying, maybe he didn't really mean it. Maybe it invalidates everything that he had done
secretly-
for a while. Secretly, he had self-hate or anything like that.
He was taking down white bitches during that whole time. Please believe that.
He might have been. I
Oh,
don't know.
He
yeah.
must have been the most popular one.
Yo,
I don't know.
imagine that.
Yo, I fucked Frederick Douglass.
Frederick Douglass, man.
There's some old grandma said,
Guy sat down there with Lincoln, bro. You think he walked in that White House, he didn't walk out with something?
I also think the equality Frederick Douglass is fighting for is a little different than the equality
Well,
we
I'm-
fight for.
I-
Frederick Douglass is like, hey man, can we please just stop working for free?
Can we stay here?
Can
Can we go home?
Yeah.
Literally, the question was, do we stay or go home? Like that was the meeting with Lincoln.
Look, obviously things were worse, but fighting for your piece of America is fighting for your piece of America. I mean, and you gotta be vigilant about it no matter what time period you're doing it.
"Oh man, it's just
Be
it's
vigilant
a
about who you
wild
marry,
it's a wild concept because like I feel like what you said. I feel like people should be free to love who they want to love, but also there is a marketing element to whenever you're trying to do a social push, and that's bad marketing, man. To have
Just know that they're gonna look at you in a crazy way.
like
the way that it
you better
goes.
be one charismatic son of a bitch.
Just know that
Question: you're a mom. You see eating a bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich.
it's turkey bacon.
Nah,
I'm just gonna assume.
it's bacon. You're with him, and he orders bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich, and then you go, "Oh, turkey bacon," and he goes, "No, bacon."
What do I do?
What is the move? Do you have a little less respect for what he's talking about?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Like to me, if you're a religious leader, like my standards that I don't even hold to, I apply to you because you're supposed to be the best of us.
between you and God.
A lot, but a lot of this
But
stuff.
what's the closest thing to God on this
So
earth?
I'll
The
give you a
black
great
woman.
example. Like,
This motherfucker.
You know what I'm saying? So I
didn't see where you were going with it.
Right.
So how you
Right,
going
yeah.
to besmirch or whatever that word you use? I pretend to know what it meant. How you going to besmirch?
besmirch.
Besmirch?
Yeah, besmirch.
Son, we just sell merch, bro. I didn't know that there's some
There's a
besmirch out
besmirch.
there. Son.
What the fuck is
Besmirch?
smirch?
That's the next
Besmirch.
thing.
Yeah, but
Besmirch.
who's smirched though? If you besmirch somebody, don't somebody got to be smirched before that?
Yo, who
Or
is
is that
smirch?
besmirch? What's besmirch? What's a smirch?
Hey,
yo?
bro, what's the etymology of this word, bro?
Smirch? I don't know, man. We'll be smirching folks. I'm about to smirch that. Like,
I'm blown the fucking way by the last 30 seconds. That with the breakdown, the smirch, like that, we delved into a level of you would damage the reputation of someone. There is no
Besmirch.
smirch.
So if you smirch, do you uplift the reputation of
That's
that
what I'm
person?
saying.
no. But is not an
It's not-
antonym.
yeah.
It doesn't mean it's the opposite.
What does it
Like,
mean?
Beside myself means be
Smirch.
So
To
alongside.
discredit. Yo,
Yeah. So
smirch is
smirch.
to discredit.
To discredit.
There you go.
So don't-
be smirching.
So you a
those.
besmirch is just you being
We
fancy
smirching
for no
those
reason.
now.
That's
extra
smirch.
for
To be
no
honest
reason.
with you,
So you just
smirch
smirch
me,
to be
him,
honest with
bro.
you, smirch is never fucking used. I've never heard
We
smirch
need to start
used.
using smirch.
Smirch
That's
it
what
up.
I'm saying. Y'all out here marrying different, you know.
Don't put that on me. I didn't do that shit.
You know
Black
what I
as
mean?
shit.
Like, stop being extra.
Yeah.
It's smirch.
Black as hell.
Stop smirching, bro. I'm right here. Hey, listen. From now on, I think that we should all agree that I think we should all marry black women.
I like that.
I think we should all date black women.
I think that's a good idea.
Okay, and I'm gonna be.
Uplift the sisters. Andrew,
I'ma uplift
in
the
2020, what are you going to do for the sisters?
I'm gonna smirch me a black woman.
You're going to smirch
No,
one.
you're not gonna smirch.
You're not going to smirch one. Smirching would be bad.
That's alongside. I'm gonna be smirched with a
You
black
gonna-
woman.
Smirching would be bad. That's to make dirty.
What?
That's what smirch means.
I thought it says alongside.
No.
No.
Be smirch, black smirch.
No. No. What are you going to do for the sisters in 2020?
Be smirch sound like a young
What?
rapper.
Be smirch, bro.
You got that new be
That
smirch?
mixtape is fire. You ain't seen that?
Y'all, 20 seconds after it's dropped, some
Yo.
nigga's going to name his name Be Smirch.
Yo, be
Your
smirch,
level
bro.
of commitment to a bit is fucking
B-E-E.
Hey,
dash
this is
smirch.
not a bit. Hey, bro, you could be out here with your turkey bacon. I'm loyal to black women.
That's why he's the host of Essence Fest every year.
I'm
yo.
hosting Essence Fest for the 3rd time in a row.
I would love to see it.
You missed the last 2, obviously. Where you been? Where you been at?
I love
What
this.
fest you been at?
I haven't been
Maybe
there
you
in
should
a
take a
long
girls
time.
trip van down to Essence
You been
Fest.
at
been there
the
a long time.
Cosmopolitan Fest? What white woman magazine festivals have you been attending? El Claire,
The
Marie
Vogue
Claire,
Fest.
the Vogue Fest. I'm out here at Essence, okay?
Smirching at Essence every
Right?
fucking year.
Fucking tons of different shit. You know
Tons
what
of
I mean?
different shit. Okay.
Listen, I'm there.
Right.
I'm in it. Were you there? No, you taking trips to Sweden.
Sweden.
Do you know what I mean? You going to Sweden. You go on vacation to Sweden.
Smirching white bitches.
Smirching white bitches. Some
Smirching,
of
that's
us
what
out
A$AP
there with
Rocky got
black
in trouble
women.
in Sweden.
What'd he
Smirching
do?
white shit, Smirching white bitches.
Smirch white girls.
Smirch
He be
somebody.
smirching.
Smirching.
He be smirching.
Giving him that Freddie D.
Real
My
talk,
God.
guys.
killed everybody,
Seriously, man, we have a responsibility.
Hey,
You know what I mean?
the
You know?
sisters deserve
What's-
strong brothers.
Yes, they
that
do.
wanna build them
What
up.
is that? What is that on your chain right there? What is that? Domino.
Domino.
Right?
yeah.
What number?
Is on the chains?
12.
It's 12.
Yeah, 12.
What does that stand for?
Cops.
That's right.
Okay.
Okay?
We went deep with that.
Not only cops, 12.
Right.
12 tribes of
Israel.
Oh shit.
Jewish, not into black women. What I tell you, bro?
other chain. You see the
What
other
I
chain?
tell you, brother?
That's a
What's the
star.
other chain?
Star David?
That's
Star-
a
no,
Star
no, it's
David
not.
and
No,
another
it's
Star
not.
David.
It's not
Oh
a
my
Star
God,
David.
bro.
This is
Nah,
the
that's a sheriff's
5-pointed
badge.
star.
What?
That's a sheriff's
That's a
badge.
sheriff's badge.
Man, I hear you.
Besmirched. I feel
Smirch as fuck.
besmirched.
Smirch as fuck.
You
Now
smirching
the
black
rich
folks?
Undercover, son.
Domino's
undercover
is
cop.
all
Is
we
Van
play in the
short
black
for
community.
vanilla?
And then
What the fuck is happening
this
around
right
here?
here
Police
is actually for the 5%ers.
He said it's short for policeman. Van, what is happening? Van,
Smirch as fuck.
I
For
feel,
surveillance vans.
I feel besmirched,
You
bro.
do? I feel you, bro.
I feel
I'm
besmirched.
just regular smirch, but I'm with it though.
You feel it?
I'm
You're not
like-
all the way B
I'm
smirch,
not
but you regular
smirch.
smirch.
I'm not ready to add that extra
You
syllable,
just smirched?
But I'm smirched.
Not
though.
after hearing all these
I'm not
things.
as pro-black as you, but like I do feel a little bit smirched.
It's
A
different
little
because
smirched.
I'm a black man.
Yeah, obviously.
Right.
You're not.
No,
You're a brown man.
correct.
My name is Andrew.
Right.
Do you know what that stems from?
Where's that sound from?
How many letters are in Andrew?
6.
6 letters.
Right.
Okay. How many days did God work?
6.
7.
6. Took the last day off.
Oh, that's true.
Even God rested. Child of God. First people
Or
were. Go.
no. The black
Go.
man is God.
What I say the first people are?
The chosen people.
What I say
of
the first people are?
The black man.
That's what I'm saying.
So right. So by that rationale, anybody with 6 letters in their name is black.
Depends which letters. Some letters count for 2.
7 letters.
Some letters count for 2.
Oh,
How
my
many letters
God.
you have in your name?
I got 6.
No, you don't, because multiple letters are repeated.
Oh, word. You right about
True.
it.
So how many letters you really got?
5.
4.
4. How many arms does Vishnu have?
Oh shit. Yo.
That's what I'm saying. Stay woke. Third eye. Okay.
You know what the
Third
funny thing
eye.
is? Well, like, the funny thing is,
See how easy it is to be one of these motherfuckers to just be.
That's what I'm about to say. He's
Yeah.
bullshitting, but you meet niggas in the barbershop
They believe
that
it.
sell you shit like that all the time. And God bless him, man. God bless him. Ain't shit you can say. God bless him.
Where is Kyrie right now?
Yo, can you explain?
Kyrie probably would be getting off on some shit like this.
Can you explain?
Kyrie is the only one nigga in the world right now that's believing what Andrew's saying.
Yeah,
Kyrie
Kyrie's
gonna
with me.
He's gonna go to press with it tomorrow.
In
Okay,
a condescending way.
I have 2 questions. Basketball questions. One,
Kyrie mad. Well, probably ain't fucking no.
Yo, when did Lonzo Ball join the Flagrant Army, by the way?
I'm like, who the fuck is this?
yo, can y'all let my goatee rock? Son? Yo, can y'all let my goatee rock for a second, bro?
That shit look like your goatee look like Amin's hair, son.
Son, I'm doing my best. I don't have facial hair, bro. I'm trying. You know, I'm really trying. Are we dressed as Confederate soldiers?
Look like it.
The Union, because you weren't blue.
Ah, that's right. Facts. Thank you for knowing our history. And it's a good thing you learned it to get that citizenship. You know what I
got
mean?
it.
Don't think that just comes free.
You don't have it?
You're
You
not
didn't get the
American citizen?
citizenship?
ESPN out here hiring illegals?
I didn't say I'm illegal. I'm just saying I'm not a citizen.
You got that green card? You got
Are
that-
you an alien of extraordinary capability or whatever?
That's what I am. That's exactly what I am.
That's what my mom is.
How you up on that?
Yeah, it's
Just
stuff
common
that you
knowledge?
fucking know.
Is that common
Son, that's how he's going to get more of his white women into the
I
country.
was gonna say, yo.
Stop that.
Yeah, let's talk about that. What is that?
What?
The alien
Alien of extraordinary ability.
Alex
I
trying to
love
ship a
him.
couple bitches
I
in
love
right
him
now.
some foreign white women. I love him some foreign white women. Al, what do you think that's?
Is that the key to a strong hairline?
Bro, they don't have you stressing. I'll tell
Like
you that
white
shit.
women just.
Son, I put Alex in a bit. I didn't name him, but I was trying to complain about relationship shit with him. He was with a white girl at the time. And I was like, yo, don't you hate when your girl come yelling at you for no fucking reason, blah, blah, blah. They in a bad mood all day, taking it out on you, fighting all the time. And he was like, no. Hold on, wait for this. He goes, my girl doesn't believe in conflict.
What?
I said, what the fuck is that?
That's
You with a
an
white
extraordinary-
chick, Alex?
I used to be.
Always.
Used to be.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not always.
Can I just ask a question that's completely unrelated to
Fucking
Alex's current situation, completely and entirely unrelated?
Uh-oh.
People from the country of Spain. What color are they?
The white.
White.
Al, what color would you consider them?
They're Spanish.
Oh, Alex.
This guy is
Alex. Let's not get infected with dumb nigga disease. now.
Thank- hey, Al.
Like Alex, those are Caucasians. If
Spanish,
you want to
yo.
fuck them, but they're Caucasians.
They're Caucasians.
Come
Those
Al.
are Alex. Those people are white.
Come
Those
on,
people
man.
are white.
I'm telling you,
Come
those,
on,
those
man.
people. You think because they speak a different? What the fuck? Like why? Like
So disappointed.
like
know, he's broke- he's heartbroken,
Bro, I hate
son.
shit like that, bro. Like
I
because
know.
that used to be back in the day.
How
used to be
dare
like,
him
yo,
waste
bro,
that hairline on some white women, bro?
That's how he kept
bro.
it.
Yeah, you're right. You're
Those
right.
are
My
white
bad,
people.
My bad. My bad. That's the trick. That's
Show
the trick.
good ones.
Son.
Jordan.
No, he got a great.
Oh, fuck. That's an observation, yo.
Yo.
What?
Amin just had a great observation. The way he worded it was a little crazy. He's like, black women will steal your hairline, and I didn't think you had to put steal in there. You know what I mean? But he
Did you say
said
black women will steal your hairline?
they said, what'd you say? Jordan, LeBron, Amin, son. Who are the black guys that got their hair still?
That have their hair still.
You know who has a great hairline? Al. Spanish women. Kyrie. Never seen a black girl.
Whole boat full of white chicks.
Whole boat full of white.
Carl Anthony Towns.
Carl Anthony Towns.
Strong hairline.
I don't know. He
OJ?
look like he love white women.
Embiid.
OJ.
Yo.
Joel Embiid.
Joel
has an
Embiid?
Amazing hairline. Might be
telling
something to it.
I'm
Whoa.
going to. I don't think sisters. But look, all the players we're talking about though.
What are they
that-
saying?
Well, what you say? Man,
What
look.
are they saying,
Y'all
bro?
like, but I mean, you
What
gonna
are
let them
they
hate on the
saying,
sisters
bro?
like this?
What's
bro?
up?
Son.
Like you gonna let them hate on the sisters? Like
But
that?
he's married to a sister.
I love the sisters, man.
No, you love one.
I'm okay.
Okay, I mean, getting flagrant. But in all seriousness, all the great things that come with a black woman, the love, the support, the food, the strength, right? The titties, right? What?
I mean,
All the beautiful things that come with them,
Right.
Right? The color of the bottom of their feet, how it's a little different than the top, and you there's lotion in it.
That nice contrast.
Yo,
That contrast.
that
Can I say something that
like
might
an
be a
orange
little?
creamsicle.
Can I say something a little off? I noticed that
this was a
women.
mistake. I gotta be honest with you.
Like a hostess
like,
cupcake.
I gotta be honest with you. This was a mistake. No, like this.
But all the things.
Man,
But here's the thing.
I'll give you $100 right now if you smash all this.
This was a mistake. Because like,
Come on,
Finish your
guys,
shit. Go
What I'm
ahead.
saying is,
sisters, we love you,
with,
and we will be
with
there
everything,
for you.
the amazing things that the sisters bring, just like everything in life, for greatness there's a cost, right? For as great as Jordan was, he had to gamble. He had to do those things so he could balance the ecosystem. Maybe the balance of the ecosystem for the black woman is your hairline. There has to be a source for all that energy that they bring and
their
give.
tesseract.
That's their tesseract.
Is your hairline?
It's your hairline.
So what you're saying? So what you're saying is
Samson.
that they essentially
It's
take
Samson.
the
was
power
black.
of your hairline.
Was Samson black?
Samson, of course he was black. Everyone in the
definitely
Bible is black.
And then what happened?
And then he lost his hair to what?
To whom?
A woman.
And the guy in the Bible that wasn't black and married a Jewish woman was who?
You lost me there.
Jesus.
Jesus, shut up, man.
Gray hair.
Jesus is black.
He was black.
Jesus was celibate.
Jesus didn't have no
Jesus
women.
had no babies and
black.
he kept his hair.
Mary
so
Magdalene
even if he
tried.
was black,
Mary Magdalene tried. He's like, no,
he's
bitch,
like,
you see
this
this hair?
fuck out of here. I got this hair. I ain't losing no hair on you, bitch.
You do me like Samson did?
Son, this is
Jesus was black. That much
okay.
out.
That's the only part you're gonna
That's
confirm.
the only part I'm gonna
Jesus
be
was
fucking with.
boom. Jesus was black, but he decided not to be with any black women. Right? He was mostly men. Kind of
we don't know who
Atlanta.
Jesus
Jesus
is.
so true to it though. Instead of getting with a white girl,
What?
like just no girl.
We don't look like.
I think Jesus was from Atlanta. When you really think about, so what black guy you know cook that much, hang out with 9 fucking dudes all the goddamn time?
I wish you hadn't fucking reiterated. I wish you just let it sit there.
Whatever, bro. It is what it is.
Oh, my
You know what I
God.
mean? Sometimes shit need to be repeated. Twice on Sunday. All I'm saying is,
Yeah.
Oh my God.
listen,
God
listen,
bless.
listen. It is. I think it's a small cost to pay for a black woman. That's just me,
Are y'all hiring, by the way? 'Cause
What?
I'm not gonna have a job after this.
bro.
not?
We don't hire black people over here.
You got Alex.
That's the one.
I'm Puerto Rican.
And Cass, of course, we hire black.
Right.
They're cheaper. No, I'm sorry.
Y'all gotta pay him like 60%.
Never again.
Hey, so while you're here, you might as well run it up.
Never again. Love the fuck out of y'all. Never again.
Should have gone to Brilliant Idiots.
Man.
Should have done the Brilliant
Should have gone to
Idiots.
idiots, bro. Should have gone to idiots.
Too much.
At least you got an option.
I'm trying to. Like,
Charlamagne
y'all keep-
would've put a
I
stop to
can't-
this.
to be honest with you, I can't fucking keep up. I'm trying to defend the sisters. Now I'm trying to defend Jesus. Which one do you do? It's like it's a lot.
I'll tell you which one.
Tell me.
The sister.
That's what
Right,
I
there
said,
you go.
yo.
Jesus could handle himself.
You're not gonna see Jesus in the street.
You see Jesus in the street all the
You
time.
see Jesus in your yard.
see
Don't you have a
Jesus-
yard?
Jesus is everywhere.
Hey, you know where you see
Why would
Jesus?
be in my yard?
He's cutting the grass of that shit. Who you paying? Van is boxed in, son. Van is boxed in. Son, in
Bob
Phoenix,
Iger.
bro. In Arizona. In Arizona.
Oh my God.
Do you know what I mean?
I mean, don't tap out now, nigga. You was with him 10 minutes ago. Wait. That was the breaking point, motherfucker. You was with him
Because
10
his
minutes
name
ago.
is probably Jesus. That's why.
Right. It's why you sound convicted on over there, my nigga. What's going on?
Son,
Man, is
it's
that
all
really
good.
the Callus 21 over there?
Yo, you want a little drink? You want a little drink?
Driving in the drink.
Yo, that McAllen, that 21-year McAllen, that's some good.
Is it really?
It is
Of
good.
course, son. You want some of that? That's straight from Russia.
That's half the budget right there.
son. How much I told you this place cost?
Wait, this isn't like you poured it out and poured something else in there, is it?
This is
Nah, it's just straight up.
straight
Real?
from a strip club in Russia.
For real?
Yeah.
I'm
Shout out to my
believing.
boy Sasha.
For real?
Yeah, Van, would you like some?
Nah, I'm good, my man.
Okay. Akaash, you're not. Do we
No, I'm good.
defile you again?
No, thank you.
Yeah, I saw that. Yo,
You don't
I used
like
to
the
come to
smoke and
peer
they got you
pressure,
lit,
man.
right?
No, he didn't think it was weed.
It was CBD.
And
Turns out there was THC in it,
yeah, that's.
what?
but like more than you would think. I thought it was like
Tell me
30
when.
to 1 or whatever.
This shit is good.
I'm
dude.
just saying, I'm embarrassed to even have this, man.
Why?
Because that's really fancy stuff, and I feel like I'm just fucking around having a
You
drink.
got that
That's
immigrant
when you have it.
self-worth, yo.
Yo,
on,
I mean,
son.
he was gonna put that in coffee.
I almost put it in coffee. Do you know what type of coffee? It was an espresso. This shit ain't regular coffee,
How about
bro.
the intensity though? What was that
That
intensity?
Tennessee was 6.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
That's that good.
That's virtuoso.
Yo, bro.
Yo, like,
What? I missed it.
This is some dork ass thing we're both laughing at. Fucking espresso pod. Oh my god. I
Low
can't
key,
remember-
George Clooney need to pay some money. This guy appropriates some cultures when he want to make some money off beverages, right?
Yeah.
Casamigos.
Casamigos, Nespresso. Like George Clooney's. Are we okay with that, guys?
I don't give a fuck.
What? Also, he
as long as he-
appropriated his wife.
oh yeah.
Oh yo, he sure did from y'all and us. He got both of us with that one. That was
Wait a
a
minute.
twofer.
What is she?
What's
She Middle Eastern Muslim
She's Lebanese.
Ah.
right? Or
or
Jordanian?
Lebanese Muslim or Lebanese Christian?
I think she's Muslim. I'm not sure.
Bruh.
I don't keep.
That's
track of
close
what
enough to
people
me. I'll be outraged.
All right, we're gonna stop, pay some bills for a second. I just want to let you know something. Look at my hair. You see that full head of hair? You see how I've kept my hair? You can do that with Keeps. Okay, I've been using the active ingredients in Keeps way before I even knew Keeps was a company. Okay, I'm about this. I'm invested in this. Nobody paid me to do this. I was paying to do this before this company existed. I'm telling you it's real. I'm telling you it's helped me. I noticed my hair thinning. A lot of you have heard this story, but I noticed my hair thinning. I was like, we're not going to do that. I got on the active ingredient that's in Keeps, and my hair came back. Now, if you're completely bald, okay, nothing we could do for you, all right? But if you notice it thinning, right, we can help you bounce back, okay? If you feel like it's about to go, we could maintain where you are right now. It's about catching it early. I'm telling you it works. If you don't believe it works, then you're not opening your eyes and looking at me right now. It's as simple as that. Keeps, okay? You go to keeps.com/flagrant, and you can get deals to keep your hair for as low as $10 a month. Matter of fact, you go right now, I think you're going to get that first month free. Do I think? No, I know. That's a pretty good deal to keep your hair. Free to keep your hair? Keep your money in your hair? This company likes you to keep stuff. Anyway, go to Keeps, KEEPS.com/flagrant. Go keep your hair, man. I'm telling you, there's one sign that a man is aging well, and that sign is being rich. But the other one is keeping your hair. Okay? So both those things help you out. And not everybody listening to this is rich, let's be honest. But you can have a full head of hair. Okay? You got a full head of hair, hard dick. What you got to complain about? Full head of hair, hard dick? Take over the world with a full head of hair and a hard dick. Jeff Bezos can't have a full head of hair and a hard dick. You can. You don't think he would want to? If he had the opportunity? Looking back? Huh? We might not have Amazon Prime, but that man was still looking his prime. That's what's important. So go out there, keep your hair, all right? Keeps.com/flagrant. Go get it. Let us know how it works for you. Peace. Let's get back to the show. Son, I'm doing more days of Ramadan this year.
Are you?
Yeah. I usually
This is
do
a great
one.
time to have this conversation. Like when I first start drinking. Thanks.
I'm doing.
Hi, Mom.
What?
No, it's just like this.
Mom ain't no patron.
How do you know?
Because I know immigrant moms are stingy. Oh, what are you talking about?
No, we're releasing this one. This one got to be out there in the world. This one got to be out there in the world, bro. The McAllen kicking
Dan,
in?
would you like?
Nah, I'm good, my man.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now,
Now,
you don't want to say anything you would
I
regret?
always get like really.
No.
What? So do you not drink or what's up?
I'm not about to drink right now.
Why not?
Why not?
Because I got places to be at.
What do you got to do?
But
This?
that's McAllen 21,
this
yo.
is, yo,
That's some real good shit, man.
do you know how
Plus,
many?
I don't fuck with scotch like that.
But
No,
this,
but this
not
one,
scotch.
it's not scotch,
What
man.
is it?
This is $1,000 bottle of scotch.
Yeah.
This
Legit.
right here that I'm holding probably is $100.
Are you drinking?
I don't
He doesn't drink. He's never done it in his life.
okay.
I'm gay.
I want you to just try a sip of it.
Nah.
Are you doing the dry January shit?
I'm not doing a dry anything. I just, at this point,
Where are you
I'm not gonna
going?
drink it. Huh?
Where are you going?
Someplace I need to be clear-headed.
But this isn't for your clear head.
This is not.
This
gonna
is this is honestly, if in my personal experience,
Just try it.
you take one sip. This is
You know why I'm not going to try
Go.
it now?
why?
Why not?
Because it's too much of a fucking thing.
It's not a thing.
It's
To
like-
me, I'll be honest with you, Van. In my life, this is the closest thing I've had to a black woman.
You've never had a black
Never
woman?
been with a black girl?
No, liquid wise.
Oh, so liquid-wise,
If you could liquefy a black woman.
it would be McAllen 12.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
21.
I used to like only
12,
date
21.
black
It's
women.
the 12, the 21 is like the age of the
Yeah,
shit,
it's
right?
the age of the thing. So like the one you usually see at a bar is an 8.
Do you want to just have a sip and just try it?
I'm not going to drink it.
Really?
On God.
You know, in some cultures that's really disrespectful. The host offers you a
But
drink.
is it in this culture?
I mean, I don't know. She'll
Alhamdulillah.
I'm going,
There you
I'm
go, man.
fired and I'm going to hell. If you keep it track at home.
There you go.
Hey, these
There
are-
you go, G.
So, okay, now Van's ferociously looking at his phone, so I think that means he might have to. Do you have to go somewhere?
Nah, I'm just making sure that we're going to have enough time because I don't know how to get around out here.
We'll get you there. Where do you need to be? Actually, don't say, but Manhattan or Brooklyn?
Jersey.
Jersey.
Yeah.
You're going to need a little extra time to get over there. What time do you have to be
Jersey?
there?
It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
Okay.
Because the ride is on its way then and I'll jump in and down.
Perfect. You let us know.
Yeah.
Back to what we said, because I want to talk about the things that, well, I don't know how many things you can talk about that you have going on right now. It seems like there's like things in motion, but you're not announcing just yet.
Yeah, won't announce till like we're all good with knowing where we're going.
Okay. So maybe we stay away from that. But
mean, we can
things
stay
are
away
good in the Van Lathan world.
Yeah.
People are curious. People ask me.
Sure.
Okay. Things are good in the Van Lathan world. It seems like you're maybe for the first time in your professional career deciding to do what you truly want to do.
Just want to be able to carve out what the world looks like for you personally, not really for
You were saying this to me earlier. I
Yeah,
thought it
you
was
plug
very
and play.
interesting.
Your TMZ is plug and play, whatever. But now you have more freedom to go.
Can I ask y'all something? Like, because I really appreciate the entrepreneurial spirit you guys struck out on your own and everything. Was there ever a time where you were like, I don't know what I want to do? Like, I know I want to do something on my own. I don't know what that is.
No.
You've always had a clear idea of what you wanted to do.
Since I've been in comedy.
I think as we found the things we loved, Schulz took a much bigger chance on this. Obviously, this is his. He paid for this. I don't know if he's told you.
It's very expensive.
Yeah, I don't know if he's mentioned it.
It's
He
very
paid.
expensive. Costs a
But,
lot of money.
But I know when I was going broke.
Even that chair, that's West Elm. It's not cheap.
I know.
It's not cheap.
But you gotta take
my
chances
living room,
if you want,
my living room set is from West Elm.
That's right.
I
Because
know.
you make real money. That's Disney.
For now.
That's the mouse.
Now,
mouse.
Hold on, but
Okay?
I want to hear your
Mouse
answer
don't
for real.
play.
What you mean?
Like knowing what it is you want to do.
I think more for me, I know who I want to be. And
bars.
and knowing who I want to be guides me into the things that are right for me and wrong for me.
That's
And
bars,
you
yo.
feel the same way?
Yeah,
Like,
I just know. Yeah, kind of what I have an idea what I want to do. I don't know the exact thing, but I know when we started this, I was like, this is the thing. This is the thing. So everything else, even as I'm going broke, I know this thing will eventually pay off. This is what it is. Comedy,
Right.
I'm struggling, whatever, but I know this is the thing. This is what it is. This is what's best for me.
And you're being humble with struggling. And just to clarify, like, I think what happens, or at least what happened to me, is almost like the lily pad shit. Like, you have one thing you want to do, and then as you approach that thing, other things pop
present
up
themselves. So
that you want to do.
yeah.
Also,
so-
people see once people get a sense of your skill set, they have other things for you that you might not thought of before.
this is what I.
But
I'll
do you
be
truly
honest.
want them?
Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't.
Like I remember watching some Red Pill, right? And then seeing certain episodes of the Red Pill where I was like, oh shit, Van is doing what he really wants to do. And then seeing other episodes of the Red Pill where I was like, oh, he's a proficient interviewer, but he's not having the most joy he's ever had. Is that a fair assessment?
No, not of the Red Pill. I think every single episode of the Red Pill I ever did, I found some way to engage. Now, if you're talking,
Not saying you weren't engaged.
but listen, what I mean is this: if you're looking at it, talking about what's naturally in my wheelhouse, you can make that assessment because you know me. But just because something's not in my wheelhouse or it's not something that I talk about all the time, doesn't mean that I can't be interested in it. And I think part of the Red Pill,
No, dude, it'd be episodes where you were talking about it could be about like something super racial, and then it could be talking about like porn when you were talking to and both of them were great because I felt like you were so engaged and you were curious.
and focus and intellectual
100%,
curiosity.
like locked in.
But that's because race and porn are the two things that I've devoted my life to.
You were always. Oh man, I'm so glad we brought. Go ahead and finish your point. I just remembered some shit.
Hold on for a second. So because of that, when you see me, I'm gonna really get excited about that entire deal. But that doesn't mean that the other things I'm not excited to discuss them.
So it sounds like you should take the blue pill, quite frankly.
Let me tell you some shit. I listened to your it wasn't your podcast. It was Jamel's podcast when she interviewed you. And when you started talking about porn, I was like, man, me and Van have a lot in common, man.
Oh, what do you guys go for?
Just the consumption pattern. Like I was like, oh shit, I thought I was the only one. I was like,
you're not the only one, my brother.
damn, man. Like,
Wait. What's the consumption?
He'd have to tell you. I don't know what he
like he was basically saying there was a point in time when you gained a lot of weight.
Oh, it was porn all day long.
It was literally
Oh, Jesus Christ, bro.
porn and Madden is what you said.
Porn and Madden. It was porn and Madden. I remember actually.
Either way, you're playing with a joystick.
Exactly. I remember challenging myself. Like your dick will get sore, and you should be like, buddy, I want you to know we're going again. Like it's not the time.
I was the only
like
one.
it's the fourth quarter, buddy. We're going again.
Yeah.
because you know what I'm saying.
Like
Just
Denzel
don't.
with fucking
don't
Jesus
get-
Shuttlesworth.
Yeah, don't get
Middle of the
tired.
night.
Don't get tired.
Run it again. Like,
And sometimes like it's almost like you're negotiating with your dick because like you weren't even thinking about jacking off. But while you're sitting down, all of a sudden, thong song video pops up. Well, nigga, wake up. You know what I'm saying? Like we on. So, but at that point, it was unhealthy. Now you use your porn. It's a little different. But at that point,
why? Wait, what makes
How
it
many
healthy
times
now?
would you guys do tops in a day? What was
that
the
I've
most?
bust a nut off porn.
Yeah.
Bruh, I don't know, dog. It's a lot.
Like 4?
Oh,
No,
north.
four?
North.
More than
you,
4?
You sweet poor
North.
child.
North. North.
4?
6?
I might get 4 in 3 hours.
I can tell
Hold
you.
on. Double digits?
It got close. Like I probably like it was. Bro,
that's impressive.
Bro, I'm gonna be real with you. It was literally like you wake up, you cut the Madden on, you boot the computer up, right, and then it's updates to sites and the shit that's pumping in. Like I'm not. The thing with my porn is I'm not the guy who just goes on porn. I have memberships. I want it direct.
See, I never
to consumer.
went that far.
I want the highest 4K quality shit that I could get. I want it to. You know what? I don't want my streaming speed to control my nut. I want to be able to go right to the spot because you know
Boom, and get right there.
You know what I'm saying?
That
Okay,
makes sense.
so let me throw something back at you.
You never said how many you.
Don't like. Well, I don't know what the
More than 10?
I don't know. I honestly don't know. I know 4 is ridiculously low.
Yeah, four is
So-
is a
like
cakewalk.
blown way
8?
past.
Probably 8? At least 8?
At least 8. At least
Maybe a 12?
maybe a 12.
You know, at the end, do you know at the end you're not shooting anything.
Wait, you came.
It just does
And
this like
just
dry
had
heat.
It
air?
just does this little thing. I remember I remember crystal clear. I remember right. I
Wait a
remember,
minute.
I remember crystal
You've
clear.
never gone
I remember
past
crystal
like that.
clear in my mind, going, "Oh shit, nothing came out."
There's no way.
Bro, maybe a little bit, dog.
Do you know how much sperm you make a day?
I get it.
It's
telling you.
crazy.
You're
You gotta
testing
push.
that motherfucker.
You gotta push. But
You're testing that.
past every limit that you know.
Testing that. Motherfucker.
But I'm gonna tell you
Jordan
this.
a jerkin.
Let me tell you this. I reached the point where I detested anything with professional lighting, anything with like.
Yeah, because it needs to be real.
I needed like that
Needs to be real.
camcorder with the
Yeah.
flash on.
I went through a phase like that,
Yeah.
but like I
Rick,
also
bathroom
went
casting
through
couch.
different.
Yeah.
I also went through
Not even
different
casting
phases.
couch. That's too much. Anything where they're talking to them? No.
I went through different
Just gotta
phases.
Start with them fucking like mid fuck.
Oh, no.
Because he just grabbed his phone like this.
But like I like sometimes it all depends though, because sometimes you want, because the porn performers, the professional ones, they're not actually the sex isn't really real, not in any actual way. But it's like the NBA of sex. It's like they are pros at it.
Yes.
So a lot of the shit that they're doing is really just performative
For us,
right?
yes.
For
It's actually
us.
for
It's not
us.
for them.
It's
And
not
they'll tell
how
you
you
that
have sex,
when you
yeah.
know them, they'll like some of the porn stars that you'll talk to, they'll talk about the differing companies. So certain companies are better to shoot for from a sex standpoint than other companies are. And they'll tell you why and they'll tell you how. And so some of the stuff is just for you and it looks good, doesn't necessarily mean that it feels good to them. And sometimes the amateurs don't have those skills. It's like you need angles and you need different shit. So it just depends on what you're in the mood for.
You know, it's crazy because it reminds me of like music, right? Like some people like the studio album, whatever, and then
You a mixtape guy.
You're a
got
mixtape guy.
Slam DVD. I like the Smack DVD. They standing on the corner and they just going.
You want
in
that Times Square.
I want that like raw
Now,
energy.
don't get me
of, like,
wrong. Don't get
take
me
it
wrong.
back to the block.
Don't get me wrong. It is different watching two people have sex when you know they really fucking.
Yeah, man.
So, but
I don't like the overactors.
That's the thing. But also, different performers have different sort of
Different styles.
methodologies. You know what I'm saying?
Wesley
Genuinely
Pipes likes to
bothered.
talk.
And you don't like a talker.
No, I like Wesley Pipes talking. That's
Wait. Wesley Pipes would talk. He would talk into the scene.
Y'all
but
talking
sometimes
about dudes?
He would talk you out of the scene. Wesley Pipes is a guy. Wesley
Go on,
Pipes,
go on. This is
Wesley
great.
Pipes
Go
would
on,
be
go on.
fucking a chick and be like, "Yeah, bitch,
bitch, yeah.
yeah, bitch, this dick," and then he would do something and he would make the girl rethink it.
Yeah.
because he'd be like, he'd fuck her in the ass and then take it out and put his dick in her mouth and be like, "Yeah, bitch, you like the way that ass juice tastes?" And she'd be
Yeah.
like, "Yeah." Wait, no. You know what I'm saying? So like he would talk a little bit too much through the scene sometimes.
It's always funny to me. Like I
like
laugh.
that shit, huh?
Yeah. So wait, when you're jerking
Jerking
off,
off,
are you
you like,
laughing
okay.
too a little?
There are some times where I have literally stopped.
Oh, he's
to
funny,
laugh.
man.
Because the dude,
He's funny, dog.
He's a funny dude, man.
He's funny. He's funny, man. He's funny. He's
We
funny.
watch that much porn,
That's an
Schultz.
all-time porn great.
Schultz,
And also,
when
I
you
watched
watch
an
that much
interview.
porn,
I watched an interview of him one time complaining about never getting invited to the AVNs. He's mad about not getting the AVNs.
He's right though, man.
I mean, that's disrespectful. Why wouldn't you?
Son,
invite him to-
AVN's so white, yo.
I did that a
we
couple
need a
years ago.
hashtag.
I did that hashtag a couple years ago. AVNs so white.
Really?
Yeah, the AVNs.
You are about this life,
It was just.
bro.
It was just. As, it was really. Just
You really
as a,
combined two passions again.
It was really just as a joke, but the AVNs people did not think that it was funny.
really?
happened?
It was just as a joke, like because Like some of the people, like
I like how
Nat
Van is
Turner.
in this world. Like, you're in that world.
Wait, how the fuck did Nat Turner come into this conversation?
That's the guy's porn name.
That's the guy's porn name. Nat
Yo!
Turner. It's spelled Nat Turn Her.
Nat Turn Her.
But
That's
like,
hysterical.
AVN so white, porno so white. AVN so white.
Oh, this is hilarious. Keep going though. So they
So
got
so what happened was, I would talk to the black porn performers.
Yeah.
And it's not a game to them. Like their livelihood is really dependent on exposure and awards
Yeah.
and all of those things. And they actually complained to me in a real way. Van, they would send me shit, Van, like nobody.
Right.
And I'm like, and you look at the lists that come out, the nomination list, they don't really shed a light on the black performance. There's a lot of black stuff out there. So more than anything, as just like a gag, I started with the. I don't think I started it, but like I started hashtagging AVN so white, and I got a lot of black porn performers like, yo, I appreciate that. Thank you. Like we want representation.
you, black porn performers, everybody owes it a band.
No, anyway, but the point is they really felt that way in a real way.
But that's wild.
kingmaker.
It is wild. Kingmaker. It is wild though, like the idea that their industry. I mean, I guess it's not that wild. That every other industry is like this.
Yeah, that's what Wesley said. He said it's kind of crazy that they actually have politics.
But don't the
support.
numbers speak for themselves? Like it wouldn't. Like here's the one thing. Like it's not like Giannis or Harden
Please
isn't
tell
going
me
to
you
win
guys
MVP.
know porn ratings. That'd be the best if y'all knew the numbers.
I mean, it depends on what you mean.
That's hysterical.
Spins or like
Yeah.
any views?
Well, when
Yeah.
you go to the porn sites and you're clicking on all the scenes, they tell you which scenes are the top rated, which stars are the top rated, who's
Right.
the biggest, and all
like
that.
Pornhub has a ranking.
A ranking
You
of
can
girls
see
and
like
stuff.
who's been the most popular and all.
I love this.
But yeah, like look, bro. To be honest with you, if like it's like anything else. Like I watched a lot of porn. I was searching for new porn. I found new stars. I got into different stuff like that. And after a while, you're into it. But
How do you get into their world though? I mean, or is that just a factor?
What you
of-
mean?
Like to the point where you know.
He looked like he really trying to figure this shit out. Like he want to
I'm
weigh
like,
in.
yeah, man. Like, hey, man, if Tiana Trump is gonna come tell me, like, yo,
She was on the podcast.
We want Tiana Trump.
But that's
on
what
this
I'm saying.
podcast.
How did you get into that circle? It's one thing to talk about it.
Well, that was Brittany Renner. That shout out to Brittany. Brittany brought Tiana Trump. But to be honest with you, I saw Nat playing basketball at the gym.
Oh wow.
And in LA, they're everywhere.
What was that thing looking like in shorts?
Shut the fuck up. they're
You
everywhere.
didn't notice?
Real talk.
You ain't notice?
What was
I
that
didn't notice,
thing
dog.
looking like in shorts? was he packing that thing?
He
Or
was out there.
what?
He was out there.
He had that yard or not?
He was out there hooping.
Hey, Schulz
But in
will
LA
be out there
also, it's
posting up
different
every
in LA,
single
man.
time.
You meet more
Backing
porn
down the
stars.
court, like-
99% of the
Is
world's
that all
porn
you?
is produced in the San Fernando Valley.
What was that thing?
I can't remember.
What was that thing swang?
What was his shorts producing? That's what we want to know.
Yeah, we really was. Was it
Van.
hanging out the end?
Van, did you ask him if that's all him?
I did, man. That's my man, though. Shout out to Nat. Shout out to Nat. That was a good episode of The Red Pill, though.
That was what?
That was a good episode of The Red Pill.
Dude, I'm telling you, check out the Red Pill. And what is the status with Red Pill?
We're probably done with it.
So it might come back in a different type of iteration.
I will
Hopefully.
come back with a different
But not
podcast, but
whatever.
most likely The Red Pill.
Different name, different format.
Just because of the proximity earlier with TMZ, you just want to go.
Well, let me put this out here now. If you ever do, and I'll do it publicly, so you hold me to it, not like you would need to, but if you ever want to bring back the Red Pill or anything of that type of podcast, which I enjoyed, and you want to do it here at the studio, we have Studio B. I'd be more than happy to have you do it there.
Word up. I'm
Okay.
fucking with that. The Red Pill, I mean, I'll be back.
I feel like Van probably enjoys like 60-degree winter days more, but thank you for that.
You never know where I'll
Yes,
be,
you're
bro.
right.
I feel like this.
Maybe he mobile. You know what I mean?
This trip, you never know where I'll be.
You know what's funny? This started with like a career question from me, and then it just went into. He got so much more into porn.
Oh, you said there was something
But
else.
you don't often see people start a conversation that's really serious and then be like, "Fuck that, let's talk about porn."
No, because we've had this conversation off air with you, and like, because I've asked, I think we've had that same kind of conversation. What is it you like?
I believe it was like from the first time we actually like chopped it up.
Yep.
We had that conversation, and however many years later, I'm sitting here and I'm like, I still don't know what that is. And it to me, I like seeing you guys figure it out, but part of it scares me. It's like, what if I'm just built to just work for somebody for the rest of my life?
Well, we
'Cause
all
I
work
need
for
to-
somebody.
Yeah.
No, but I'm just saying, you guys control your own destiny. Obviously, you're all getting checks from something.
Right.
But in some way, you control your own destiny in the sense that, like you guys said, this is something I want to do, so I'm going to do it, as opposed to.
I will say you're different. You're in a different situation with kids and a wife.
Yeah.
I was on talking about I went broke, whatever. Year before that, I was on like 6 TV shows, all MTV.
Yeah.
I don't think I liked a single one of them.
Right.
You do it. It's the check. It's great money.
Right.
Life is good. I can still do stand up, whatever. But then when you started doing this, even losing the money, I know like I enjoy this.
Right.
This will pay off in the long run,
The
and it's
funny-
worth it in the end.
The
Whatever
funny
comes
thing
with it.
to me is that you were on a bunch of TV shows, and I remember when I would say, "Oh, I'm gonna go. I'm seeing my buddy Andrew," and people didn't know who you were. And now you're not on TV at all. All your stuff is self-made, self-produced, pretty much. And all I hear people like, "Oh my God, that guy! You know him? How do you know him?" And it's just funny to me because the conventional wisdom would say, get with a network, get with a studio, get doing this. And you're the opposite. And it's part of it is people are enjoying your work, and part of it is people are enjoying your story.
Yeah.
And that's a wild part for me. I mean, you two, all you guys, like, it's funny to me because I see and I've known you guys before your story became something that people were gravitating towards.
Yep.
And that to me is like oh man, like, same thing with Jamel. I remember the first time after Jamel had her whole thing on Twitter, she was still at ESPN. I saw her at the Black Panther premiere. And it's her and Mike. And I'm like, hey, what's up? And like, I'm just like bullshitting because I see my friends. And then Jamel says, yo, I'm sorry. I just got to say what's up to this person. And I'm like, oh, yeah, go ahead. And I turn around, and standing behind me is Donald Glover, literally waiting to talk to her. And behind him was literally a line of black people. Because this is the Black Panther premiere. All of Black Hollywood was out there.
You think Donald Glover was like, excuse me, Jamel, there's a white woman behind you. I would love to be able to talk to her.
Speaking of,
Yeah, how's his hairline look?
Shit.
So,
Shit.
but, you know, to me, that was
Donald
the first.
Glover, great hairline.
Excellent hairline.
Wow. That's a
awesome.
lot of white bodies.
So, but anyway, so it struck me like at that moment, I was like, oh shit, like people are, but I'm like, she's the same person she's always been.
Yes.
So what is it that people are gravitating to that they weren't gravitating to
I mean,
before?
Andrew just talked about this actually. Like after the Kanye thing, people looked at me in a different way.
Exactly.
Because they you know
They got to know you. They didn't know you before.
They didn't really
we
know
knew
me
you.
before. You guys
You
knew.
knew Jamel.
Right. But you know
the greater people
You
did.
know what the real thing about it is? The actual thing about it is, and it's something very simple, is why people care. Why people are invested into you. If you can stand on a stage and make people laugh, they automatically care. And it's just, and if you can do that for long enough and figure out how to win.
But he was doing that.
But
and
but
not
to
enough
me,
people cared.
to me, he was doing it, but he wasn't putting that foot forward as the real thing that he brings. He was doing that and doing a lot of things.
Right.
Once that became, yo, I'm one of the funniest people in the world.
Right.
Let me go out with this and build everything specifically around that. I feel like things changed. He could probably tell you better. I'm not talking about Andrew's life. But what I'm saying is that that right there is a skill. You can stand on TMZ and you can talk all day long. And people might be like, that's a smart brother. But once you like incite some emotion in them, get some emotion out of them, now they care. They're invested in you because you make a bond with them.
Right.
Comedians can do that automatically.
I think there's one thing, if I will say it, not to cut you, but I think there's one thing, which is, I think it happened with Jamel, and I think it happened with Van, I think it happened with me in just different ways. And I think that, like, once you stand for something that people feel and they resonate with, and you stand for it publicly in the face of losing a lot.
Take a risk.
Once you
something
take
that
a risk.
a lot of people wish that they could do a little bit.
Right.
Yeah.
And something maybe that they wish that they could articulate, or they do articulate to their friends, but they can't get to the masses just because they aren't able to touch it. And I think that you obviously did that when you spoke to Kanye. And I think the type of comedy that I do and that Akaash does, and like the whole impetus of Flagrant 2 was this idea, like, we're not going to bow down to the cancel culture. We're going to say the most fucked up things in the guise of humor, of course, in the time where you can say, the least, and I put that under quotes because there's been other times in history you can't say anything.
Yeah.
Of course,
Yeah.
we're not going. Whoa, here is me. Blah blah blah. We
We're
live in an
not
amazing
Lenny
time.
Bruce, but
Exactly.
that's what I was gonna say to
But
Andrew.
just to
Okay, go
clarify,
ahead.
so it's like, and I think what happened is a lot of people that listen, I think they were like, "Yo, thank you. At least some comic is saying the jokes or is going to do a joke about trannies because we do jokes about everybody. Why should they be exempt? Right. Not in terms of we don't like this group of people, but we like flagrant shit. We like fucked up jokes. So I think once they saw that, they're like, I want this guy to succeed against the odds.
Right.
And I think they saw that with you. I think they saw that with Jamel as well. Right. And all of a sudden, once you see people, it becomes a David versus Goliath type thing because here we are, this little podcast, and all of a sudden, our Patreon fucking exploded. We become one of the top 10 Patrons in the fucking world or something like that. And it's because people are like, yo, you guys are doing what is right. We're going to do anything that we possibly can to support you in your endeavors. And I think that's what happens.
Yeah, I was basically going to say Schulz is one of the funniest comics, maybe the funniest comic working right now, straight up, I'll say that. But beyond just being funny, there needs to be something else for that thing to happen.
Yep.
And I think for a lot of it, it's people feel like this guy's speaking for me. A lot of motherfuckers hear Kanye and were like, will somebody tell that guy to shut the fuck up?
And then somebody did
And then
it.
somebody said, I don't think you are what you think you are.
Yeah.
You raised your hand and you did the boldest shit that nobody else would do. Jamel stood up to ESPN, did the boldest shit nobody would do.
Nobody that wants a job in sports tells ESPN to shove it.
That's crazy. When you think,
Look at
when
our boy
you-
Charlotte.
And I
when
got
you
issues
think-
with Jamel
bro,
on a lot of things, but
bro,
what she did is fucking
bro,
bold,
when you think about that sister to tell ESPN to go fuck themselves, that's the end. You can't.
That wasn't the first step.
First thing
was
she did
tell
was the Trump thing,
to-
but she stood in her truth, right?
Yeah.
And so there's the thing is, and that's the scary thing is, it's easy to do a lot of stuff when you know you can go on to something better.
Right.
She's at the top of that sort of deal, and so now she had to figure out for herself. She's doing a great job.
Yeah.
People respect
But
that.
it's and that's extra because they believe what I believe so strongly they'll walk away from the bag. Now extra, and that's
Right.
Andrew has a lot of that too, which is
Yeah, that makes
you know
sense.
what? Not only is
That
he
makes
saying this
sense.
shit, I've been searching for somebody to say all this PC shit sucks. I don't want to have to laugh at somebody just because they're fucking trans and they're on stage.
But
I don't care.
You know what the funny part is?
And
It's
he
not
walked
even
away
that-
from the bag.
It's not even that. That's not the bag that he walked away from. It's not because there are other comics who do the non-PC stuff, and to varying success. What made you legitimately walked away from the bag? I like that as a concept because all of you guys you risked that. The risk you took was that New York Times thing where you told them like, fuck Netflix. Because there was no other comic out here who was like, I don't need that fucking Netflix shit. I'm going to do this shit on my... That was
Well,
the
Rogan
risk.
had said it. Isn't Netflix had done?
Well, Rogan was different, right? Rogan was at a place where it's
no,
easy
he
for-
went on Rogan.
No,
and
I
said
said
it.
I went
you
on
went on-
Rogan.
and
like,
that was the platform. That was like, oh shit.
But that's the wild thing is that's what it is. That's what it is. Is your stance wasn't that I'm gonna do this kind of comedy. Your stance was I'm gonna do this comedy and I don't need
None
these
of it.
constructs
No.
And you
to
know,
be
it's,
successful. in this
on a
industry.
much smaller scale, I'm not gonna try to put myself in the conversation with any of this. When I had that little immigrant thing,
Yeah.
that was the first time I felt like, oh, Indians are sharing this more than everybody
of
else.
course.
Flagrant
Dude,
fans
it's
look
not
like
just
whatever.
immigrants.
Whoa. Can I tell you something about that clip real quick? That's why I wanted to make it clear that I wasn't responding to that clip and to the tweet. That was powerful. The reason the reason why it was powerful for me,
Wish you would have quote tweeted that, but you know what I mean?
you didn't right, but you didn't. But look, I'm gonna be real with you. But you know why I didn't say anything about it? It's because I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know whether you're right or whether or not you're wrong. But you know what I did know though? I didn't know whether or not you were right or whether or not you're wrong. So I can't really speak to that. But what I did know was that you fucking cared and
I'm
invested
very passionate
into
about
that dialogue.
Yeah.
That meant something to you. And so I could see that as far as what was right and what was wrong, but I really couldn't speak on it because I don't know. There could be a kid across the like, he's fucking
So again, much smaller scale. When it started to get, I didn't expect Indians for a lot of immigrant kids, but Indians for the first time, random Indians were like, yo, my girl was like random people that don't know you or don't know we're dating that I follow posting this. And I said something,
yeah.
sorry, just
Yeah,
to
no,
finish.
go, my fault.
I said something that I didn't realize it, but a lot of Indians felt this way, but nobody was saying it. And then I said it, and now they feel like, oh, this guy's finally saying the thing I want to hear. That's a different thing. You guys did it on a much larger scale.
So my sister is, I guess you call her activist, or whatever, is Sudan, right? She lives here, but when she was in Sudan, she used to post these videos all about like how stuff is messed up and like things that not just government is messed up stuff. She do that, but also things culturally in Sudan. And so she had this one video about this one dude who's talking about Sudanese girls. A Sudanese dude talking about Sudanese girls are ugly, and I like Lebanese girls are better, da 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 da. And this dude is a grown ass man with kids and stuff. My sister had this long, really like, hey man, like you have children, you have daughters, man. What kind of example are you sending when you say this kind of stuff? That video went super viral in the Sudanese community to the point where Sudanese people were sending me this shit and saying, hey man, you see this girl say this? I'm like, that's my fucking sister.
Yeah.
Of course I've seen it. Mm-hmm. So like, don't put it on a smaller scale because it is powerful, especially in those communities.
Yes.
Now, having said that, there was something I really disagreed with you about on that.
Go.
Yeah, go ahead.
And my thing
I think
was
I know
this.
what it was.
I agree with you in that the generation that came before us had this work ethic, and some of us do have that work ethic, and we need to stop making excuses if you don't. At the same time, I think you took it, I know you were just talking like you were in the moment, but part of it felt like you took it a step far in saying like, we shouldn't expect any of this shit. Like, technically, yes, in spirit we shouldn't, but the reality is we should, because even as immigrants, we're still like the
Entitled.
Rights and stuff.
And
I knew that wasn't
and I thought about like, you're saying this thing, it's a minute, you want to get in, you want to get out. It's a podcast that's not this. But yeah, with context, you deserve liberty and the basic human rights and clean running water.
You don't deserve them; they're guaranteed.
They're guaranteed.
Sure.
And
like
so
everyone deserves that.
So if you're not
Everyone in
getting
America,
if you're not getting them, you should work your ass off to make sure that you're accessing them because they're guaranteed.
And by the way, even if you are getting them, because my kids are going to grow up like hustling, like they won't know, kind of like the thing that you were kind of describing, that some of these kids out here, second generation, third generation, like, oh my God, why so unfair? No, you're going to have that mentality, but also at the same time, we're going to work for you to have that safety net, because it's not fair for some people to have an ability to take risks knowing that I got some other shit that's going to catch me, whereas for us, that's not a reality.
So I would say 2 points. One is my general point was whatever your mentality is don't ask anybody for fucking anything. Right. Go have the mentality, I'm going to go take what the fuck I want. I don't want and it was about the Oscars. I don't think the Oscars owes it to minorities to give us nominations. Go make great art, and worst case scenario, you don't get the nomination, but this guy's shattering an entire fucking industry.
Sure. And that's it.
And if you're making money, if you're financially viable.
That's the shit I was going to ask you about the black porn stars. Is there any feeling that, we're going to have our own award show? To
me, this is my only point to any of that. It doesn't make any sense to rap on Master's door and then ask him why he isn't respecting you or giving you an award. Yes. That doesn't make any sense. However, if the Academy Awards or any industry anywhere is less than diverse, there's nothing wrong with letting other people know that we're here because we're making art too.
Yes.
Now, for me personally, I would rather, as a black man, see us care a little bit more about the award shows and the accolades and the things that we can give each other because we understand our art and our culture.
Agree.
Now, but wait a second. That doesn't mean though that I have a gripe with someone that goes, this situation is too white. Because remember how America is sold. America is sold, and all of this stuff is not asking for anything that's not supposed to be guaranteed to you. It's asking for the affirmation of things that should be the way that they are. My thing is, go forth in the world and understand that shit ain't always fair. By the way, not is it not always fair. It's very rarely fair. Yes. So be prepared to fail on the doorstep of fairness. Now, what you'll eventually be able to get is what you're able to demand. And you're better off demanding things in blocks and in groups.
So let me ask you this. Go ahead.
There's a point that I was going to say that I think Amin would share on a certain level. And it's part of our guilt and low self-worth probably as immigrant kids. But when you say shit like, this isn't fair here, whatever, I understand how inherently unfair it is that I am in America.
That I'm here, yeah.
You said shit like we should all have access to basic, like running water.
Once we're here.
Both of us got relatives, don't got access to running water, clean water. We drink their water, we will die. Straight up.
Right.
That's the condition. So when we're like, we deserve this, in my mind, I'm like, yeah, sure, we deserve it. We're very fucking lucky to have that. So when I see a lot of people complaining about the Oscars or whatever, to me it sounds very spoiled, and maybe that's my own shit. But I'm like,
but to me, I'll be honest
we
with
are
you.
the 1%.
I'll be honest with you. You're never fortunate enough to deal with inequality. You're never fortunate enough to have to suffer through inequality. We're all fortunate to be living. We're fortunate to be alive. We're fortunate to be in this situation. We're fortunate to have opinions. We're fortunate to be in a situation where the state, to a degree, doesn't control what it is that we're saying. But good fortune is never going to be a trade-off for not getting what you're supposed to from
It's a
society
simultaneous
that's
thing. You can appreciate and still work to it. Schulz knows this is the first time I was on Brilliant Idiots. I told him stories about like growing up in Sudan. We played barefoot. There was like torture houses across the street. And for me, I didn't, that's just reality. Right? And they come here and you're like, oh shit, like you get to say whatever the fuck you want. Like
be appreciative of that, but also know that there's a different set of rules.
It can always be better.
Maybe there's two things that are being said at the same time. And one thing is, what is the route to take for success? And I think Akaash was trying to get on what we would try to put in our kids' minds, which is, hey, hustle, because
I think it's
hustle,
the route to greatness.
Or route to greatness. Hustle, because hustle is going to get you there. And like you said, yes, the world might not be fair, even though it should. But if you hustle 100% hard and put your blinders on to all the fuck shit out there, you're going to do way better than if you don't. And then at the same time, maybe it's our responsibility to tell our kids, hey, you also deserve fairness. Just because I said the world ain't fair, don't mean when some shit ain't fair that you don't go, yo.
Or that you can't do a little work to make the system as good as it can be.
100%.
Might never be perfect.
But you shouldn't quit because you should still grind and, like you said, make your money in groups or whatever it is. And some people make their groups based on religion. Some people make their groups based on race. Some people make their groups based on ideology. But groups work.
Groups work, and whatever they're based on, like
unions are a group, right?
Whatever they're based on. All I'm saying is, like, there was one point being an immigrant where you came to America, maybe not a brown immigrant, and they gave you millions of acres of land. And with the millions of acres of land that they gave those immigrants, they gave them all the resources under the land. They gave them all of that stuff, and that was to build their country.
I don't know history.
When you're talking about the recent history of immigrants, so what I'm saying is, in establishing a country, wealth was given, not earned. Wealth was given to somebody, just not you.
But there are immigrants who come here and they get extreme wealth without any land given or wealth given
all the time. But what I'm talking about, the
majority of this country's
wealth was given. So all I'm saying is that it doesn't make any sense. What the way I look at things differently, the way I've kind of evolved is I look at things in terms of effectiveness.
What about the most recent immigrants? Because the most recent immigrants who come were not given wealth, right?
They weren't given anything. What I'm saying is,
because we have to talk about things in the context of time, right? If what we want to do is find the ways to succeed within now, not within the past.
No. But to me, I would say the structures built in the past are still. So what I'm saying is, when you're getting to a situation of trying to redefine what is fair or what is just or equal, understand that it's not wrong of you to ask for these things, because at some point somebody was given to them. It's wrong of you to rely on them.
Right.
If you rely on them, you're relying on somebody else's altruism for your future. You just can't do that if you're going to win.
No, that's
definitely not wrong to ask for them.
No, you should ask. You should ask for everything you're entitled to. 100%. If your landlord says, "Hey, you get air conditioning and the air conditioner not work," what do you say? You say, "Hey, where's my air conditioner?" 100%. Right? I guess what I'm trying to say also is that, like, we can look in the past, right? Like we can look in the past and go, "Hey, all these white immigrants that came here got all this land and they were able to build wealth because of it." 100%. But we're not in the past, right? We're in now.
He specifically referenced the past.
He referenced one generation ago.
Let me just finish.
Well, the reason why I'll let you finish. Let me finish. So I guess what I'm saying is, like, you can have an almost Pat Riley approach to the game, which is like, hey, triangle offense, and then people can look and you go, hey, the triangle offense don't really fucking work right anymore. Like, maybe there's a different way to work it. What's the way to work it? Who's killing right now? Golden State's killing. Well, who lives in Golden State? Those Asians. What do those Asians do? Oh, those Asians are out there becoming fucking doctors, engineers, doing whatever they fucking do, and they're having incredible success in the world. Okay, that's the new approach. That's the new wealth. That's the new land. And those people are out succeeding. When I mean Asians, I mean Akaash Asians, I mean, Chinese Asians, they're out succeeding. I mean, fucking Nigerians that come here and do the same thing. I mean, they're out succeeding everybody else.
What I would say to you, that's very fair. Achievement. The problem is that if you go into this thing without sort of a blueprint and an understanding of the history of the country, the context, you'll understand something is that's not you. Now, as much as we would, the reality is that's not you. Your place, I'm talking about black people in America, was very specifically engineered.
Right.
Completely 100,000% intentional. You are exactly where you were meant to be. Okay. Right. And the system, as far as that's concerned, is working completely right. What I would say is that's not enough for you to throw your cards in, but it is enough for you to take the historical context and what it is that you know and understand how you circumvent that system. Yes. And so if you understand redlining, or if you understand what happened to blacks when they did come together and build thriving communities and build economically viable communities, how a lot of those communities were destroyed very purposely, what you'll understand is what you're sort of in for and what you need to watch out for. It's not to take anybody and make it all their fault, because if you're going to succeed anywhere,
you'll
it's going to be on
understand
you.
what people were in for before you, but to act like you have to go through the same redlining that they went through is unfair to them.
It still exists all the time.
A lot of those contracts are still around.
And a lot of those contracts are still around. To be honest with you, and some of them,
out of respect to the people that went through it, we have to differentiate.
I'll give you an example like this.
Out of respect to them,
I'll give you an example like this. In Florida right now.
Yes.
They just passed a law that says if you are a felon, they actually rescinded one, and there's a new thing. If you're a felon, before you can vote, right?
Yes. Before
you can vote, you have to pay back all of your restitution and everything to the court, so you can't come out there and vote, right? Then on top of that, if you haven't done that, when you're filling out your voter registration form and you answer questions on it, if you don't even know if your restitution and all of that stuff is paid up, and you answer wrong, they can retry you or put you back in jail on another felony, right?
And this passed?
It's done, and so it's either done or it's out there. I'm not sure, but what I'm saying
is
only
is for black people.
It's not for black people, but what I'm saying is
felons. So then what are we talking about?
It disproportionately affects the African American community.
Right. But that's different.
So what
we're talking about redlining, which was specifically done.
Well, actually, but like the thing is though, when they talked about poll taxes and things back in then, those poll taxes weren't specifically. Some of this stuff wasn't specifically for African Americans. It was just something that they knew would affect African Americans.
Right, like the grandfather clause,
all of that stuff. So in this particular situation right here, what you have is a state under a government that is trying to control and manufacture democracy. In order to understand why that's so destructive, you need to understand how that playbook has been put into play on your people before then. It helps. It doesn't help to vilify somebody as much as it helps to galvanize people.
To me, it's an educational thing. You can't just say, well, that's how it was back then, or you just suck it up now, and it's things. You got to understand it so that you understand the potential landmines that exist. They may not exist in the same form that they did back then, but they still exist in some form, and you have to be cognizant of it. Otherwise, you're going to get a rude awakening.
I'm not saying don't know your history by any means. Absolutely know your history, understand it. I mean, I just think that it's more advantageous for you to focus on the barriers that exist now so you can find ways to get around them.
A lot of those barriers have roots in the past.
Yeah.
They have roots in the past.
I'll give you a good example. So I never
course.
got to talk to Charlamagne about this because this was back when his book came out. But the idea of black privilege, like I know what he's saying, the spirit of what he's saying, but it's almost like saying someone, like remember the wrestler who had no legs? No. I can't remember. You don't remember not like WWF wrestling,
like the
Greco-Roman wrestling, the Olympic wrestling. He went to ASU. Anthony Gonzalez, I think his name was. He had no legs, right?
Yeah.
And so he started wrestling, and he was fucking great at it. And so he was great at it because he didn't allow his disability to hold him back.
He also had a weight advantage.
But the point is,
he was proportionally stronger because he was missing the weight of his legs.
Okay, let me do something. So
he would wrestle these little guys.
Different. So Shaquem Griffin, the kid for the Seahawks that was born with one hand,
plays defense, not wide receiver.
Yeah, exactly. But my point is this: he's able to be successful, and that's great. But that doesn't mean, as a result, ipso facto, let's all cut off our hands because that's the route to success.
But nobody's saying that.
But it is when you kind of say like, overcoming the odds is something that is...
No. This is what I'm saying. What I'm saying is we could look in the past and we could study how people cut their arms off and then we could also study how people, we could study other prosthetics from like the 1800s,
Right.
or we could get an understanding of that, which is very important. We can understand the history of people who've played without prosthetics because we can learn from that. And then we can also hit up MIT and be like, yo, what's the new shit that you got going for your arms?
if you don't exist,
'Cause that's gonna
the reality,
help me in the now.
but
I completely understand what you're saying.
But I have two hands.
I also think there's almost a certain extent where you get diminishing returns when you have a hyper focus on the just abuse of your people, like
inequity,
inequity of your people, that you cannot internalize that, and you cannot go through your everyday life thinking like that. Like my mom, we are Scottish. My mom watched fucking Braveheart, and I remember her relive.
Wait,
let me finish.
Right.
I remember her bawling, crying, and angry for 3 days, and I didn't understand it until later on in her life.
That she hated Mel Gibson.
No. She fucking loved Mel Gibson. But like what she hated was the English for a second. And then, but what it really was is she came to America, she made her own money, and she forgot the insecurity she grew up with was being lesser than, being taken advantage of because of who she was, being looked at as poor because of her accent. She came from a poor. She forgot those things in America.
She also forgot her accent.
But this is
she still has her accent.
I met your mom.
Wait. But this is why I say
100%.
to what you're saying, Andrew. Just real quick.
Was
This
she
is why I
faking
said.
it for me?
This is why I said.
Yeah, she was.
Remember.
So you could understand.
In order to help Black Americans, whatever Americans are saying culturally.
Yeah.
I'm selling something to them, an idea, right?
Yeah.
An idea of unity and group operations, an idea of cultural patience, an idea of all of these things, right? Investing into yourself, investing into your people, building strong structures, and for all of this.
Great,
right?
100%.
Great. But here's the thing, though. In order to get the buy-in, I have to stress why it's so important. And in order to stress why it's so important, I have to show what happens when we go it alone. Or I have to show what exactly we're up against. And so for me...
See, that I disagree with.
Okay, well, we disagree on it. But to me, the reason why is because I have to say, listen, we're talking about the Oscars right now. I have to say, listen, you guys, there's a history in America of them not understanding Black culture and Black art. So what you're doing right now, not just now, this isn't new. This has always been the way that it was. So what you're doing right now is you're wrapping your head against a door that may never open for you. But what you can do is reset the standard.
Love it.
Now, in order to do that, in order to get the buy-in from that, they have to understand exactly from a historical context in America what it is that I'm talking about. And they also have to understand something else. They have to understand that what they've been told isn't true. That the fact that they've been told that they're the worst, that they've been told that they're inherently criminal, that they've been told all of these things, that's not true.
Right.
That there is a reason and a process by which all of these things happen.
Right.
And in order to do that, you have to know your history. Now, what I will say the difference where I've come along is you can't be angry about it. You can't be upset about it. You got to go forth and build new shit. And I think that's what.
Could it just be as simple as
I agree.
choosing your battles? Like, I think it is important to have knowledge of your roots. I believe that Marcus Garvey quote, the people without knowledge of its history is like a tree without its roots. I think you can tell people this is what we might be up against, whatever. But isn't there something to be said for picking your battles? I'm getting married to my girl. Not everything is a fight. Not everything. She gets on my nerves every fucking day. I probably get on her nerves every fucking day. Not everything needs to be a fight. The Oscars don't need to be a fight. You can understand the larger context. This is what they be doing, but it's the Oscars, bro.
It does if you exist in that industry.
Well, can I say one thing? Just to respond to Vancing, where about how to galvanize the people. I think there are different ways to galvanize people, and I think that different ways are effective, right? I think one way is to essentially build up the enemy and see what you're up against and show how you're oppressed and remind people like, hey, you're oppressed and this is the history of the oppression and this is what we're up against.
That's not what I said to do, but go ahead.
Not necessarily what you said to do.
It's not what I said to do at all. What I said to do is you take people and you start with, this is exactly what I said.
Right.
You start with what you have to do to be successful.
Right.
Which is in the now.
Yeah.
How are we going to be economically and politically and socially successful? Right. And then in selling to them why it's so important to do it this way.
Right.
okay, you then give them the history of how it didn't work.
The history of what?
Well, the history of
Oppression, right?
not even oppression. The history of America and the situation that they've had black,
Which was
Americans
oppression.
in. Whatever. But what
What
I'm
was
saying
it?
is,
What was it? Oppression or progression?
But
Was America progressing black people or oppressing
But what
them?
I'm saying is, you don't start with telling them
But it's oppression.
how bad it was. You start with telling them
Sure.
how they can ascend.
Sure.
And you tell them why this
Why
specific
is
prescription
specifically
will work.
important? 100%. What happened? Oh, you got to go? Why,
I got
what's
to break
up?
out. I got probably 2 minutes. I got.
Okay, we'll finish in 1 minute. Have a seat. Yeah. Go.
Okay.
Love you.
right,
Thank
man.
you.
Great to see you.
All right, man.
I mean, be good. Thank you for coming, dog. I appreciate you. Hit me. Text me.
We're good for the open on Friday during the day. I'm trying to work on Saturday right now.
I'll text you later. Text me later. So I guess what again, I didn't mean to switch up your order, but I think that we were on the same point of the importance of like reinforcing the things that you're up against, 100%. And I think it is important for people to know that. But I also think that groups gravitate towards success because at the end of the day, people want to have success. And I think that you can show that through success. Like for me, when I look at a Tyler Perry, like I go, whoa, that guy has his own fucking studio.
You know what he said? He said, I built, wait, out of his own mouth.
Yeah.
He said, forget about sitting at somebody else's table. I built my own.
My own, yeah.
100%.
He's acknowleding the barrier.
Oh, no.
Wait.
I'm not disagreeing with you. No.
He's
You're-
acknowledging.
Yeah, but
He's
you're
he's
saying-
saying I couldn't sit
Right,
with you, so I
right.
did. He's acknowledging the barrier.
think we both agree
I know
with
we
that.
agree.
Right.
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
What I'm saying is I understand there's a barrier, right? But what he did is instead of focusing on the negative and the oppression to galvanize, what he did is he just did it, and then he went, hey, this is the way to do it. Now, in no way am I comparing my career to the black struggle in America, but I think there are a lot of comics that probably resonated with maybe not having opportunities and the networks not giving them opportunities. And then when they saw me go a different way and start putting up clips, and then most importantly of all, having success with it and then selling out fucking theaters around the world, once they saw that it worked, they were like, I want to do that. And now the way you do comedy is this formula that we put out where you're cutting up these clips and posting these clips and posting them on YouTube and doing all these things. So we transformed a whole industry simply by success. And I think that there is an amazing way of doing that within community as well. And I think the people that see a Tyler model, when they see a you model, Van, I mean, I think you might be selling yourself short in terms of your influence, even if it's on doing your own thing, regardless of what you do in the future, or even being on TMZ. Like that is very powerful to them. You know what I mean? When they see you stand up to some famous guy, regardless if he's Kanye or anybody else, they go, oh shit, if you live your truth, it actually works out. Maybe that's a good idea.
Well,
So I think showing instead of telling, and I think the economic prosperity that comes with success is the best influencer, man.
I would agree, but what I would agree with that. Two things. Number one, Tyler Perry specifically asked for the cultural buy-in of African Americans to build his empire.
100%.
He specifically asked. And
He made
said-
content for them.
Like he specifically, but he specifically asked and said, "Yo, I'm here working for y'all because these other doors ain't open." So that's always been a part of his thing. Yeah. The second thing I'll say is the only thing that breeds success in America is success. You can't complain or bellyache your way to anything. Just doesn't work. Will never work. However,
I think that's what Akaash was saying.
I get it.
That was his
However,
point, right?
However, I will say this. That doesn't mean you wipe the slate for a society that hasn't earned it. And so all I'm saying is this. I understand. It used to be a point to where I would raise. Why doesn't this happen? Why don't we get this? Why aren't we getting what we deserve? Why don't we get? That's not what I'm saying anymore. I'm saying it's up to us to build and decide what it is that we deserve amongst ourselves
100%.
and use leverage to do it. But when someone comes to me, and this is what I'm saying, when someone comes to me and they say, Van, why do I have to go to a black restaurant and deal with them in their opening stages and give the money to them like over a restaurant that's been around 80 or 90 years?
You're saying when
might
black
have it
people
more
come
figured
to you
out.
and say that,
When black people come to you. Yeah. Why would I bank black when they don't have the online banking system that Bank of America has?
Mm-hmm.
When they don't have all of these things, when they don't have all of this stuff, why am I going to have to be culturally patient patient and have allegiance to certain things. I have to explain to them why it's going to work for them and for us to at least partly invest into our own. And it has to do with the fact that that's the way that we'll be strongest in the long run. Not saying that you can't have your Bank of America account or you can't go eat a nice meal at the Cheesecake Factory. Sure. I enjoy it. What I'm saying is a little bit of this should come back into your own community, because if you don't do it, it will not get done, and there is history behind that.
Yo, real talk, 100%. I mean, the name of the game is get resources. You know, we've spoken about this before, and we break ourselves up into these little groups. And whether society does it or we do it, that's just what happens. And it's about acquiring those resources, and people do whatever they can to get them. And it's up to be honest, it's up to those banks to have a competitive advantage on other banks by offering loans to black people that maybe those other banks won't offer. If you want, like Tyler Perry is the bank, and the bank went to the people and said, so if these banks are like, yo, we're just going to offer the same loans as Bank of America, and it's like, why am I giving you my black money if you're not going to help my black ass out?
The more money that they have,
oh, black man, bro.
But the more money that they have, the better we assume their lending practices will be.
Van is right, but it's really fucking hard to do.
It's insanely hard to do, but you gotta try. You gotta
try. And I agree with you. And my point, the reason I specifically said people who look like me is because black people are up against a whole different thing. I'm saying when you come here, there's a lot of like, the Oscars, the idea is I need white acceptance. Who gives a fuck about a seat at the white table? Go make your own table. That's exactly what Tyler Perry is saying. I'm
fucking with
it. To me, a lot of that shit is wanting acceptance from white people. And it's like, yo, I don't give a fuck about your acceptance.
That's the part of it, right there. And I say this because I got a black woman waiting in the corner right now. But I'll say this. This is what I'll say. What I'll say is that's the part.
I got your love.
That's the part that you have to get away from. The part that you have to get away from is wanting that sort of intangible acceptance and love from a group specifically that hasn't showed you in the past that they would actually be willing to give it to you wholesale. Not so much even white people. I'm talking about mainstream American society. They're going to give you what you earn. So you got to figure out better ways to earn it.
I'm asking for love from groups,
That's
man.
what, can I say one thing?
I only ask for love from black women. I feel like Andrew and Akaash try to sell me short right here. Andrew, I gotta run. I love you, bro. I love you too. Thank you so much. Hey, seriously?
I'm glad we had this convo because
all jokes aside, though.
Yeah.
In a real way,
yeah,
I really am proud of you.
Thank you, man.
Like, I don't even know you as well.
Thank you, man.
But when I see you and I send your clips around and shit like that, I'm like, yo,
dog. Appreciate that.
I'm really proud of you. Alex, not so much.
But real talk.
I want to just say publicly to Van, thank you for what you did with Kanye. I used to be a Kanye stan, and it was like really important to me that you did that. I still listen to his music, but it was really important that somebody like
10 years
like,
nobody said this shit to him.
Yeah.
And it's important that I say while you're here, I know I get a lot of credit for my success, but my success is dependent on everybody in this room. You know what I mean? Yeah. So like I did spend a lot of money. I don't know if I said that earlier, but in all honesty, this is Akaash's place. This is Alex's place. It might be Eden's place. We'll see how he does. But it's really all of us, everything here. And I hope if you ever need anything that we can provide for you, man.
I'll be back, man.
Love you, dog.
And Van, thank you. What you do publicly, it's appreciated, even if it's not acknowledged. All right.
Hey.
Appreciate you.
Hey guys, this has been another episode of Flagrant 2. I think we got to put this out on a regular, man. I think we got to do a little regular.
I was thinking the same, but we got to cut some stuff.
Yeah.
If we're gonna put it out public, we got to cut some stuff.
All right, we gonna see.
If we do, we'll cut it. We'll put it on the Patreon.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And leave this part in so these motherfuckers know what they're missing out on. They don't got the Patreon.
Gang.
Bitch asses.
Hey man, we love y'all. Come join our Patreon, man. It's really the realest, man. Conversations like this, the funny, the seriousness, the thoughtfulness.
Bro, I don't know if I said this to you when I was going through. You were in Egypt. I was trying to figure out the best of clips. Yeah. Son, the Patreon best of. There's so many.
Yeah.
Because we just get to go. We just get to do it. And it's just like, yo, there was about 20 clips that I was like, any one of these could go. I had to cut some shit.
Anyway, y'all, go make sure you check us out. AkaashSing.com.
What you gonna say?
Get all his tour dates. We got that show. We got that show in LA, man. The 4th show for the special taping. Easter Sunday, 9:30. TheAndrewSchulz.com for tickets. Go get that. We'll be in Atlanta this weekend. Alabama, I think there's some tickets left. And TheAndrewSchulz.com for the rest of those. Thank y'all for the support. Akaash, tell them where you're going to be.
Yo, this week, if we put this out on the regular episode, it'll be January 29th. I am at the Punchline in Sacramento. January 30th through February 1st, I'm at Rooster Teeth Feathers in San Jose. February 6th, I'm at Zany's in Nashville. Come the fuck through. I'm super excited to do shows in the South. I got Zany's on the 6th. Laughing Skull in Atlanta on February 8th. Montreal, I'm finally coming to Canada. March 12th through 14th, I'm at the Comedy Nest. I think I said the wrong city last time. I was high. My bad if I said any wrong cities. March, I think that's it for now. That's it for now. Come through.
This has been another episode of Flagrant 2.
Hey, man, we love y'all. Keep it tight. Peace.
Peace.
God bless.